You were taller.
It must be. It's a torso-based issue, I think.
It's a torso-based issue.
These guys are someone.
MaxJazzGames says Lucy wasn't a terrible movie.
Gus?
Keeps a lot of fluid from here up.
I do.
Come on, do it.
Come on, get wet. Where do you store all your liquid?
I guess my bladder.
What's the difference between a ferret and a meerkat?
I mean, where they live. Vast difference.
Crust kit.
Crust kit.
Okay.
Crust kit.
I'm going to introduce you some cheese. You know those cranberry,
With the date. What about the ones with the apricot?
No, from the crackery.
Random question.
On
Does
everything.
anyone here like video games?
But he did it. Fuck video games.
Welcome for Thursday, the 17th of September, 2022, coming to you live from our houses, starring Gus Ronalds.
Oh yeah, I got
Hi guys.
Hey,
Burns.
Oh my god,
It's your boy, Nick by Richardson, and tonight on the show, God of War, Sommerville, Warzone, Pentiment. No one has time for this shit. We're all fucked. Welcome. This is definitely not going to be our best show yet, but it certainly is going to be a show that we have produced on a Thursday night, where at some point we talk about video games. Welcome, everybody. We hope you're all doing well. Particularly our very own Peter Burns, who looks, can I tell you what, mate?
Yeah, man.
You've lost some fucking face weight.
Yeah.
Svelte. I can't taste anything.
And also,
so
you've got a lovely sheen to you, which just looks like a bit of like,
it's just filth. I'm covered in
Yeah.
like phlegm. Bounce back off the microphone into my face.
oh man.
Rob Anglican
Yeah.
says, Pete looks terrible, Nick, not much better, good luck all. To which I say, I'm probably the healthiest out of all three of us right now. So
True.
Ooh.
that's awful. I mean, not emotionally, but certainly physically.
I think
That's
it's
true. Next to me is ailing physical and mental health, and at the end of it, it's just me.
At the end, it's Gus.
being like, I brought myself a whole bottle, and you've got an espresso
Oh my god,
martini.
that's fancy as
You do.
fuck as well. That's a cork. That's
Thank
a
you very
corker.
much. Yeah. Yeah, no, this
No,
one's
Peter,
a
this
fucking
is going to
banger.
be a corker.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
dear.
He's got real cork in his bottle.
I got
How
a
much do you have
French
to pay
wine.
for that
shit?
You've,
Yeah.
The Grand V de Chateau Pazange from 2009.
2009?
Yeah.
Fucking
Angus,
treating
why are you
yourself.
cracking open the
Holy
fancy
shit.
stuff?
I was at a French restaurant last night eating snails. This is my thing now.
And you robbed the place?
It was just a whole
No, I just
wall
got
of
a taste.
wine for the taking.
I would say I got a taste for French wine, but I had a sommelier who schooled me in French wine and was like,
smelly air?
It's a soft O. It is a soft O.
It's a very soft O.
and who was like, he was like, French wine is pretty piss weak for Australians because of like all ours is so bold and fruity and Shiraz-y from Western Australia. He's like, we drink French wine and we're like, this tastes pretty watery. So, ooh, is that mold on the cork? Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
He's still going for it. I
What
like
am I
it.
gonna do? Not drink it? Jesus,
So did
Peter, you know me better.
But finish the story. Did you buy this bottle of wine last night at the restaurant?
No, the wine list was like, dense, and it was one of those things when you ask for advice, and then they start pointing at bottles of wine that are like starting at 3 figures, and you're like, no, but you have to politely like listen and nod and go like, oh, okay, cool. And that it was just like you have to nod and pretend to be interested, and then go for the like $60 bottle of Plonk and be like, but the others do sound good.
To quote
my
Tash
story.
Monster, Gus is dripping with privilege right now. Also, I think
When am
some
I
of that
not?
might be cork mold. We're not quite sure.
Can I deliver the first hot take of the night?
Please.
Please.
I watched The Matrix Resurrections last night.
Oh, okay, good. I'll say my
Wait.
opinion after what you say.
Second best
That's
Matrix
the new
film.
Wow!
Wow, you are unwell.
Second best Matrix film.
Hang on, this is the latest one, right?
So it goes 1, yeah, and then like, so it goes like a
Reloaded.
10 out of 10 film, and then it goes a massive drop, massive, huge. It's a bad movie, but Resurrections is better than the other two.
No, the second movie is much better than Resurrections.
No,
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched the second movie in a long time,
Resurrections is
but Resurrections
awful.
at least had some good ideas in it. The other two are just like.
Hang on. We're not talking about the newest one.
I'm talking about the
that
newest
new
one.
reboot.
That was I watched it last
Talking
night.
about the
for first
newest
time.
one.
Yeah.
Peter Burns, get out of my life.
No.
Get
It's
out
better.
of my
It's,
life.
it's better than the other two. They're fucking trash films,
No,
but it's better than the
No,
other two.
have you? When was the last time you watched 2?
15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, go
When
fuck
did it come
yourself.
out?
Because I rewatched it. I watched all of them before I watched the new one. And
Okay.
2, I mean, it's nowhere good. We all agree that 1 is like you could put the other 3 films together and they're still 50% of what 1 is.
Mm.
He's really ruining the mystique, isn't he? He was really talking about how sophisticated he is. He's like, oh no, wait, it's a twist top.
No, I'm gonna cork it. Like it's gonna
Oh, you're
split.
gonna cork a 2009 bottle.
How
You know
do
what to do with the
fix-
cork? You got to suck it out.
What if I go in?
Why are you twisting
no.
so much?
I'm not meaning to.
Use the leverage. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
you're right.
He's got it. He's
Yeah,
got it.
you're fine.
He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. It's fine. It's fine. God, imagine if the waiter did this at the table every single time.
What if it's a joke cork that's twice as long?
That would be great. That would be a great joke.
Well, look, I was getting close.
And as
Like
you
it was
pull
gonna
it,
split.
Mm.
and
God,
as
my
you
camera
pull
shit.
it, it starts changing color like one of those clown magician
Yeah.
handkerchiefs.
Yeah. It goes through the
Yeah,
full
good.
rainbow of cork colors.
Anyway, the second movie has some cool shit in it.
I'll watch Matrix
I
Reloaded
hated
again,
that
but
film
my
so
god, it's such a TV movie that it worked for me. It's like I see exactly what you're doing. This is like Sense8 the movie.
Oh, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Bad. You're a bad person.
All right, I won't go that far, but sure. Now we've got. It's going to be a bit of a chill show, everybody. Like, so obviously it's just the boys, and we are we're only doing. We're going to talk about some video games, but there's some good video games.
It's a massive games.
I would say 3 out of 4 of these are bangers, and I don't know what Gus thinks about the first game that he's going to be talking about.
Okay.
And then we're going to play a decidedly terrible video game.
But that has also reviewed okay in some circles.
Weird, but I'm very excited to find out how it goes.
Mm.
But before we get to that, because Steph's away, because you missed a flight coming back from Brisbane, the fine people at Sony Entertainment, you might know them as the producers of the PlayStation 4, which you definitely own, and the PlayStation 5, which you've certainly seen. And they have decided to give us, because we are such... I don't know why they decided to give it to us. They actually sent me an email and said, "Hey,
for sure.
do you want to do this? We look forward to your unboxing video." And I was like, "Hang on a second, is this supposed to be me and I make an unboxing video, or are we giving this away?" And they're like, "Oh no, sorry, you're giving it away." They have given us a God of War Collector's Edition that they want to give away to the fine people watching. Now, I should clarify.
What's in the collector's edition? I want to know, because I want to know if I
clarify,
should
God
be
of War
entering this
Ragnarok or God of
competition.
War?
God of War
previous one?
Ragnarok. Yeah, they're not just offloading shit from around the office. And I should also say that they only gave us one. When I said give away to the fine people watching, it's not one for each person.
Fine person.
It is only one version of the God of War Ragnarok Collector's Edition. But let me tell you what's in it, because it is a banger. In God of War Ragnarok Collector's Edition, PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 version, you get the full game for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It is, however, a printed voucher, so you don't need to download that game. You get a Dwarven dice set.
Oh, that's
You
cool.
get 2 in veneer twins carvings. You get a steel book display case with no game disc included. You get a Knowledge Keeper's Shrine, which I don't really know what that is. You get a bunch of digital
Just
stuff,
a
which is like
notepad?
handles, some special armor and that sort of thing. But the actual thing that you want this for is you get a 16-inch Mjolnir replica
Holy
hammer.
shit.
16-inch
now.
hammer. That's like that big. It is dope. It is so cool. I saw that. I actually saw
They didn't
that.
send us a picture of this collector's edition.
let me
Pete,
give it.
do
Do
you
you want?
Whack it in
do you want-
Slacky if you got a 16-9er.
Yeah,
got a 16-9er there?
Put in hot.
Yeah.
hot.
Pete, Gus, you got it. Who's someone? What's the name of someone who watches
16
our show?
inches for you.
Wait,
Come on
is
now,
this the
Angus.
Jotner edition? Is that the wrong?
this is. I mean, it's not a sponsored segment, but we like our friends at PlayStation.
Yeah. All 16 inches of them.
Who watches our show? What's the name? We've made a commercial for him. What's his name?
Who likes Mjolnir?
Coastal City bought this. If you want to check out Coastal, go to Coastal's Instagram, and you'll see the hammer in person, him holding it. So it's super cool. I'm very jealous of the hammer, and it comes in a cool box as well.
Hang on, that was the collected. Pete, I might have given you the wrong one. Here's the right one.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, this is so hard.
Did
The
you
other
give him
one
the
was
God
a-
of War collector's edition?
Yeah. Here you go.
Ben's harassing me as well.
Yeah, good work.
Nice.
So
I wonder what's
yeah,
the
it's
heft of the hammer. That's the big question I have. Like a replica
Coastal.
hammer
What's the
is cool.
heft?
How
What's the
hefty is
heft?
it in hand? If you
Yeah.
put that 16 inches in your hand, does it feel
Yep.
heavy?
Careful, Gus.
Look at that.
Fucking
Look at that.
Look at how cool it is.
Nick, I genuinely thought you were like having a go at the no disc included, but you're right. It does say no game disc included.
Twice.
Twice.
They really want to let you know that we do not print discs anymore.
Yeah.
The magic of when you said dice set, I was like, is it a full D&D dice set, or is it just like is it like a Yahtzee dice set where it's just like 8 D6s? But it seems to be a D&D dice set. I can see
right. You
little
got a couple
triangles
of
and stuff on there.
Yeah.
Well, they played a lot of D&D. It's a big part of God of War.
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Yeah, there's the D&D.
Dwarves and
cycles.
Dice was.
So we're going to
the
do
version they
I
played.
think we'll do a Nightbot roll for this one because it just
We should
feels
do it
like,
at the end of the show, though.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Keep people
very
hanging
good
on.
idea.
Keep
Fucking
us
make
fucking
'em
hanging
watch.
around.
Keep them hanging on to what is possibly one
Make
of our
'em
loosest and
watch.
crappiest shows yet. Let's get them
So true.
right to the
That's
end
so
of it.
true.
Make 'em
I like it. I like it. All right. Speaking of terrible shows, that seems like a great segue for our first sponsor. And that, of course, is you may be watching a terrible show, but you're probably watching it on also a terrible PC. And what you actually need is the PC of your dreams. Get yourself a dream PC and make your PC dreams come true. Make all your PC dreams come true. Become a nightmare for anyone who plays against you. Head to dreampc.com.au/backpocket to pick up the PC that you have always wanted. Easy to configure a PC via their website. Bespoke systems built to order. Authorized Australian market part seller. And they give live updates via their build tracker. Oh my God, Dream PC. We make commercials for this guy. We have got PCs from this guy. People we watch have got PCs from this guy. It's just one man. It's one man. We should ask how many people work for his company as well, because otherwise he's a very busy.
Pete, give us a reenactment. Like, give us the reenactment on the couch of you from the commercial. He's fevering about PCs again.
Oh, what's happening?
I think he's having PC fever dreams.
Good. Dream PC, we thank you so much for your continued and undying and unwavering support. If you need a PC, we thoroughly recommend supporting a Pocketeer, heading to dreampc.com.au/backpocket. Get the PC there, because you're probably due for an upgrade. And I say that as someone who upgraded my PC 2 years ago, and I look at my PC, I'm like,
A piece
no,
of
it's
shit.
probably time for an upgrade.
Yeah.
I just watched a lot
This
of
thing has a
PC
bunch
building.
of 30s and 80s in it.
I've been watching a lot of PC building going on in our office at the moment. Obviously, why we're not there at the moment. The place is completely being rebuilt, and I've never seen so many boxes of PC parts. And it does kind of get the juices flowing again to be like,
Oh.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get Pete to help me to build my PC again. So,
Well, Pete,
but
that's
maybe I won't
better.
have to. I'll just go to Rick. Drink
You
PC.
helped me build my first PC, Pete.
Did I? Did we do it in the
good
studio?
game.
Good game, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like we took it into the ABC because before that, I had a gaming laptop and I also had the the trash can Mac Pro.
Yeah.
And I had that I dual booted, and it worked pretty well as a gaming PC. But then
Yeah, they
I
had
got all the
some
parts
great-
delivered to the ABC, and then built the PC. and was like, "Fuck, I need to take this home on the train, and then walk like 1.5 kilometers from the train station to my house."
I did almost the same thing. I had a Mac Pro, the tower, the silver tower, and I dual booted Windows on it and was playing games on it when I first came to the ABC. And then I was like, I think I need a PC, and bought all the parts. Pete built it, and I got it home from the building as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I used to dual boot the Mac.
I should be selling wheels. I'll do the build for free, but I sell wheels at a up market price. At an Apple tier price.
You are remembering, you're referencing the thing, right?
Yeah.
What?
No, he's not. He's not. That's what Apple did.
No, yes, okay, yes.
Apple wheels.
I know the Apple wheels that were like $800 each or some bullshit.
Did they ever come down in price, or were they like?
No, I'm checking now. They're still $1,049 for 4 wheels for the Mac Pro.
Fucking crazy. That's so insane. That's so insane.
Incredible.
I can't believe it.
They better be the smoothest wheels. Like when you glide them, they should just be like, oh.
I actually watched. What was it? Marcus Brown, I think, did a video where he was talking about that and why it's justified. And he has a really good take on it. He's like, of course, it's not justified because you should never buy it. But the point is that it's such a luxury item that it keeps Apple in the luxury brand tier, and selling it for less actually takes them out of that tier. Like they're almost designed to not be bought, and that's the point of them, that they are such a luxury. Yeah. He had an interesting take that I'm totally watching here. Yeah, totally. 100%.
That was was the only Steve Jobs move they've made since he passed. It's just like, you know what? Fuck people.
Where do you reckon...
I'm going to sell wheels that you put in a picture frame and hang on your wall.
Where do you reckon he's buried?
I think Mar-a-Lago.
Under the campus? Mar-a-Lago.
He's on the course.
He was like, surely he was cremated and like scattered into Mac towers, or
I was gonna say, like, genuinely, if I was him, I would love to be cremated and then be like, 0.001% of me have to be added to every iPhone.
I'll tell you what,
like he's what makes the Apple
mix
M1
him with an
chip
epoxy
so
glue that
he
just
wouldn't
goes
want
into every case.
I think he wouldn't want to tie himself to tech that he knows is going to be redundant in a few years.
That's so true. That's so
by
true.
design, by his own design, going to be redundant in a few years. So I reckon they had his ashes clayed up and then made a brick out of it that's hanging by a rope over the CEO desk, so that it's like over just Tim a Cook's threat over Tim Cook. And whoever comes next is just the threat of Steve Jobs is still looming over your head. It will kill you.
So, Kane School outlawed.
He's in every wheel.
So everyone thinks that that caning in school is something that is a bygone era.
All right.
Caning in government and Catholic schools ceased in 1986, the year I was born. It was banned from public schools under the School Education Act of 1999. However, the ban did not extend to private schools. And my deputy headmaster had the cane that he used to cane people with when he was a teacher mounted above his desk in his office. And so when you went to the deputy headmaster's office, he would be sitting underneath the thing that he used to beat children with. And it was, let me tell you, that fucking worked. The intimidation tactic worked.
I think I've said this before, but there was a teacher who I was the year level after they banned it for that year, and it was year 5, and I just got into this class with a pretty aggro teacher who the year before was allowed to cane students and used a meter ruler. So he still had
over
the
meter
hands
ruler,
or
over the rump?
I don't quite know, because I never got it, but he had the ruler and he had the pent up energy that he'd been doing it for years. So he'd walk around the class and like smack the table and smack things, because he was like, this is what I used to be able to do and I can't do it anymore. So we were terrified, but for a reason that he just like was used to whacking kids with it. It was fucking terrifying.
That's Mr. Sanders as well for me. One of the funniest things I remember from school was we had a teacher. God, I can't remember his name. Mr. Lloyd. I think it was Mr. Lloyd. But he was like 5 foot tall. Like he was a very short man. But he always dressed very sharply, and he had It wasn't quite a Hitler mustache, but it certainly wasn't wide enough to be a
Chaplin
normal
mustache.
You even know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like if you took the Hitler and the Chaplin and you joined it together, but you didn't extend it all the way across the top lip. Anyway, at one point, my friend Richard had to like get up to put something in the bin or something. To get back to his desk, he had to walk behind Mr. Lloyd. He walked behind him and pretended to rev up a chainsaw and like chop him in half, implying that he's half a man. And Mr. Lloyd turned around halfway through as Richard's going like miming this, and he grabbed him by the tie, dragged him down, and tied him to his chair.
Amazing.
And said, "This is where you have to stay for the rest of the class." And so Richard just had his tie tied to Mr. Lloyd's chair for the rest of our ancient history class. Pretty phenomenal move.
Probably rookie error to mime the sound of a chainsaw behind someone.
Massively.
Gives it away just a bit.
Fantastic. Well, we will be giving away a copy of Lord of the Rings. Fuck, so tired. God of War Ragnarok Collector's Edition later on in the show. We've done the Dream PC plug, so let's move on to, there it is, Peter. Gus, what have you got? Is it a cat?
The same thing.
Incredible. Why do you both have DVD copies of Lord of the
They're the
Rings?
Blu-ray
No, I've got
ones.
Blu-ray extendeds.
Yeah.
Arm reach.
I put it there when we were doing the show.
Yeah,
I watched the show and went, do I have that? And found it and pulled it out when I was watching you guys do it. Apparently I do.
Right. I feel left out. All right, let's move on with our first segment, and that's a little something I like to call. Just saying, what y'all been playing? Presented by BuriBuri, who of course is an IP lawyer specializing in video game law. But if you wanted to launch a class action against Deputy Headmaster Harris when you were at school, she could probably help you out with that as well. She could at least explain what a class action is, which I think is the first step to launching a
Look,
class
for the
action.
longest amount of time, I thought a class action was just the class of that class or year level just getting angry at a teacher. So I think it's pretty appropriate.
I could definitely get the graduating class of 2002 from the Armadale School turned on Mr. Harris in a heartbeat. No problem.
I was thinking, is it bad to rip on those teachers? But they're all probably dead. Most of them probably are. Mine were like old men when I was a kid at school, so most of them are dead.
The weird thing is when you like, because I still get the the school magazine like emailed to me once a quarter and stuff.
Yeah.
My school has changed so much. Like it's literally gone from a boys only military academy to a co-ed drama and music academy. Like it did a hard pivot. But there are still people, teachers in that magazine still teaching from when I was at school. So that's 2004, 18 years ago, and they're still not only in the same job, but in the same school. And I think I would probably kill myself.
I get letters saying, would you like to donate to the Headmasters Fund? Of probably
Yeah, that's
one of
just
the
a-
most like...
Keep them
Schools
in the
with the
good
yeah.
wine, Gus.
Well, I think it's just called that, but it's like one of the most like well-off schools, and it's like, we need your money, and the headmaster needs it. I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
That's hilarious. All right, but I'll tell you what the headmaster does need: some good video games. So Steph's in here, and she was going to be the one to talk about this first. Now, hands up if you played God of War Ragnarok. Gus, no. Explain yourself. I did actually remember that because Gus explained to everybody what your plan is to play God of War Ragnarok.
I think I'm going to play God of War first
Insane.
because I never finished it. I got maybe like to the snowy mountain in God of War, and I put it down, and I don't want to play the second one without playing the first one. So yeah, I'm a while off ever picking this up, let alone finishing it. But sounds like everyone's having a good old time. A hoot, a holler, and a great time. Nick,
Fair. Yeah. So Pete, how many hours have you put in?
I think like 4.5. I got through the mines, and I think I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like-
so we should start with you because I'm just gonna I'm gonna
You're gonna wax lyrical.
gush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, but I just find it so uninspiring at every turn. It feels like a really old game with a shiny coat, and moment to moment, not loving it. Don't really love the characters. Don't really love the combat. Feels really small and linear. So I just like I don't really gel with like third person action combat unless it's like really, really mechanical, like Souls and like a Sekiro or something like that, where it's like super challenging. Whereas this isn't challenging; it just feels like even the easy mobs are 8 hits to 10 hits to kill kind of thing. So it just feels like a little bit slow and plodding, and it's like, all right, you go into an area, there's a tiny little room, 3 guys slide down the side of the cliff, and then you fight them, and then you go to the next tiny little narrow passageway and opens into a tiny little box, and then 3 more guys. It's like, it's so, I mean, like
modular and kind of like
yeah. I mean, it's no different to in that sense to like Guardians of the Galaxy, really. But yeah, I found the rest of the artifice of the game around Guardians of the Galaxy more fun. The characters more fun. The color and movement of it more fun. So this is very serious and very heavy, and yeah, I totally see why people enjoy it. But I've come to the same point that I came to in the first game, where I was like, I could see what this is going to do for the next 15 hours, and I'm not particularly interested in playing it. And I'm not saying it's a bad game. I totally understand that it's on people's Game of the Year list, and it probably deserves to be. But it's just like, there's not a thing in this game is particularly new to me. And the thing that is innovative about it is this camera that follows as this one-er, and I think it's probably a thing that is a weakness to me, that they make concessions to make that work. The cutscenes, the dialogue sequences, they're not cutscenes. Well, they're in-game cutscenes with a single camera floating around. I think maybe lose some impact because there's no editing, and characters kind of move off screen into a wall. But it doesn't matter because the camera is forced into this perspective, and it's like, well, I know they just went that way, so it's like a trick of editing could have hid that better. But that guy, and I know that guy can just appear out of nowhere, like the little dwarf dude that travels through his own portals and stuff. But it's like, things like that where I'm like, well, I mean, that you're forced to make that decision, and I can see why you made that decision. But it's just every now and then I get a little thing of that, and I'm like, oh, okay, you could have probably done better without this one-er. And the only other thing
about that, actually, because sorry, Pete. Yeah, again, I've got the least to say about this, so I just want to jump in and be like, I hadn't thought about, like, when people raved about the one-er in the first one, I kind of was like, oh yeah, I hadn't really noticed it because it wasn't being used in a way that made me go like, this is heightening the storytelling. It was just like an interesting kind of, not trick, but just a cool effect. And you're right, it's like to lose out on some editing techniques and some things that are traditionally can tell better stories and can make for better moments because you've got this style choice. It's kind of like, yeah, I think the fact that I didn't notice it in the first one, and when people mention it, it's like, it's here again. I'm like, okay, that didn't really like get me excited. But anyway, I'll let you go on. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. And the only other thing I think is like that I've noticed it because I like, yeah, the combat is good, but again, it's not fun enough from my perspective to persist for another 15 hours. Even though I'm like, I get that there's like augmentation and stuff happening. I've got a couple of now like bumper augments. I can like do double damage for 15 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. I've got like a couple of different things I can put into the ice spinning attack slot, that kind of stuff. So I see it like growing. But yeah, the other thing was the characters I find like, I think I'm damaged by what Naughty Dog do now. And like this feels premium in so many ways, and then the facial animations are so not anywhere near what I expect them to be, only because everything else about the game is so polished and shiny. And then there's like the kid has no emotion, and I don't like him because of that. I think I'm like, I don't give a shit about this kid. I'm just not getting anything out of him, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just he's an angsty teen, so he's also a bit abrasive, which I don't have the I'm not bringing into this game the affection of the younger kid from the first game. So that's probably part of that kind of tension as well. But Nick, I'll let you wax lyrical, and I won't second guess any of your opinion on it, because that's just my perspective on these kinds of games. And like I've always felt this about these kinds of games. Like I fell off the Batman Arkham games because I felt the same kinds of things of like, it's just like from a combat draw perspective, not that compelling. But I did find Batman, the characters and its playfulness softened some of that for me, and I was more excited about seeing the next batshit crazy Batman villain as opposed to the next batshit crazy, you know, right at the start of this game you encounter Thor, and it's like, okay, cool, but they're all just like angry Norse dudes, and maybe I've just got a bit of Norse fatigue as well.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So with the exception of the combat, I cannot disagree with anything you just said. I just love all of it, but I agree with everything that you just said. This game does very little. I'm about 12, 14 hours in. It does very little to distinguish itself, I feel like, from the first game, to the point that the first 5 hours of this game are so astonishingly close to the first 5 to 10 hours of the 2018 version of the game. It is madness. Like, it's almost the template is we're in the forest, quiet, angsty with the sun. Extreme god villain turns up at our house. We have
the call to adventure.
We have a huge epic fight. We go on a sort of like combat learning sequence that's nearly the same. Like, it is so weird how close this game is to the first one. And there's not a huge amount that I feel like is really distinguishing itself so far. However, I just feel like I try really hard with the Assassin's Creed games, and I really like them intellectually, and I think I like them for a little bit, but I tend to fall off them just from the amount of scope there is. But something that draws me to a game like that is the gaminess of it. And that's something that I don't usually think about a lot of video games. Most of the time I like something that is doing something new and interesting. But there is this kind of game for me. I totally am willing to make
concessions.
Thank you. I was thinking successions. I was like, that's not right at all. I'm willing to make concessions where I feel like what it's doing is the thing that I loved from video games when I was 12 years old. This is just doing on a much grander and more cinematic and bigger scale. And so I agree that like there are sacrifices made to pacing when it comes to that single camera thing, and all the cutscenes are slow, and I think that's a deliberate choice, but it certainly is a choice that they can't really change that much because of that single camera. That the game is very much, particularly the main missions are very linear. It is very much like go to this puzzle room and solve this puzzle, and then go to this combat room and do this combat bit and move on to the next bit. The open world stuff is way more interesting.
Yeah.
So this part, like this
relatively
part
new, like it's the scope of this open world. I know the first game was linear in sections and might have had branching paths and some tracing, but like path retracing. But like this feels, and from what I've heard from people talk about, like it broadens up quite substantially after those like first 5 or so hours.
So this part of the game is literally like, and again in a very video game way, you are in a boat and you get to this part, and then Atreus goes, so if we go left, we're going to continue the main story mission. But if we go right, we're going to encounter a side quest.
That quest looks optional.
And it is, I am being only 20% facetious.
Yeah, no, totally. Can I ask you, while we're on that point, are you? I found Atreus and dude on the hip.
Yeah, I never fucking remember his name.
Mimir. Like, just like I would walk up to a puzzle and they would tell me the answer to it.
Shut the fuck up.
They were alloying.
I am all for accessibility when it comes to puzzles, but there should be a slider that is literally how many seconds until I encounter, after I encounter this puzzle, should you open your stupid fucking mouth? Because I will walk into a room and I will be tilting the camera up to look at something, and Atreus is like, I think we need to break the crystal above the door. I'm like, I haven't even seen the crystal yet.
Yeah.
It's wild.
To be fair, he's your teenage son, so he knows video games better than you.
That's true.
He
That's true.
He's telling you exactly how to do it.
So true. But yeah, this thing is like, do you want to go on this side mission? And this has been probably my favorite part of the game so far, because there is it's a big open space that you need to go. Pete, did you do this one?
Yeah. I went and did all the coal towers because I was like, this. Yeah, I want to do the open worldy stuff. This was the most fun I had as well. Like just
totally
run around spamming.
There's interesting puzzles in closing down these 3 sort of smokestack things. The open world area is really cool, but the story in this is awesome. It is completely it is so much about character. It's genuinely interesting and empathetic, sympathetic. Like it is the best part of the story so far. And I have found that in this game there are things called favors, and they are basically side quests. It's like a character wants you to do a favor for them, so you go off on a big side quest mission. They are always more interesting than the main story missions, because the main story missions are super what Pete was talking about: puzzle room, combat room, puzzle room, combat room. Please shut the fuck up. Let me try to solve this by myself, please, for the love of God. At one point I turned off the subtitles and I put a podcast on and stopped listening to the game because it was getting so annoying being told what to do immediately. So
Everyone's mentioned that there are options to turn tips off, but I'm not sure if that relates to the tips that you're getting from the in-game characters.
That's it. I saw that, and there's default, and then there's more frequent.
Oh my God.
But I couldn't turn it down.
Yeah.
Madness. But I'm loving the game. Like, I'm such a sucker for this combat. I get what you mean about the idea that there's not a huge amount, I guess, of decision making in the combat, I suppose, but I find myself, I get it in the same way with the Arkham games. I get myself in a really good flow, and I really love throwing that fucking axe. And it's not a story spoiler, but a slight mechanic spoiler, I guess, I think it's about 7 hours in or something. So just a warning, if there's 7 hours in, just like mute for the next like 20 seconds. But you, at some points of the game, which you didn't in the first one, get to play as Atreus, and you get to play with the bow and arrow, and you go off and he's the main character that you're controlling. His combat is awesome as well. So there is a crunchiness and a heaviness to the combat that I really, really enjoy, and I've always enjoyed from the first game to the second one. And I like just being taken on a journey in a game like this. So I'm all in for it. It is incredibly similar to the first game, and in a way, kind of like Horizon Forbidden West, where I go, God, this is so much of the same thing, but I fell off the first Horizon game and I fell off the second one very quickly. I'm just really in on this, but at the same time, I can recognize that if this is not your thing, then it is a super video game. It is so video gamey. Everything about it is upgrades, linear path. It's all about just like being taken on the next set piece. And with the exception of the big boss fights, so far a lot of the areas haven't been, like you said, the Naughty Dog thing, where like I don't mind that when I play an Uncharted game, because I just feel like I'm on a spectacle ride the whole time. This doesn't necessarily feel like that for, I would say, like 70% of the game. It is just kind of like, we're running through this mine and like trying to solve this puzzle while our kid tells us exactly what to fucking do. And so that happens less, that spectacle. But when it does happen, I think they do it really well. And I'm just a sucker for this franchise, I think. So I'm totally loving it. But I think that I like that you and I are both basically in agreement about everything, but it's just like, oh, I just enjoy that in this experience, and I don't enjoy it in this experience, and both of those are of course, like completely valid. Yeah,
it's interesting how you said how similar it does feel as it like picks up from where the previous game left off.
It is the same fucking game.
And that's the thing, which is why a little part of me went like, usually that thing of going, I'm going to go back and play the previous one is like, no, you'll have to play an older game that'll feel different, all that. Like, from everything I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is the reason I want to go back and pick up the first game where I left off, or maybe even start it again from where from the start, because it doesn't feel like I'm going to be limiting myself outside of a few extra weapons and stuff and roll into this game. I don't know if I'll actually follow through with it, but it doesn't feel like I'm missing out on something straight away. So, but
and it does. I mean, it does pick up from a story perspective, not necessarily immediately after the end of the first game, but everything that's happening in this game is informed by what happened in the first game. So I think that you could probably get away with watching a 20-minute video on YouTube of like, this is the story of the first game, and you would be totally fine. There is a recap that you can watch at in this, but I don't think it does quite enough.
Pretty light. Yeah, I was, particularly after even Secret of Monkey Island, or Return to Monkey Island, has like quite a robust and sweet capturing of all of the stuff that you did, and it's like, there's only so many plot points that are relevant, but the way that they're presented to you is like the characters that are telling you about it give them the importance that they deserve. Whereas this is like cut together like a movie trailer and
totally
like fading in and out of scenes from the first game, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening?
I think it's actually pretty weak. Like it was fine for me because it just like jogged my memory, but I think it's very much designed to jog your memory, not inform you if you haven't played the first game. So I think that you could, Gus, like if you play the first one,
I want to play it. Like I want to play the first game again.
You will? Yeah,
like I want to finish the first one, I think. So that's why I will go back to it.
But I am really, really loving it. And I sometimes are just really in the mood for this kind of video game.
Do you think
He's an angry man?
Obviously, it's warranted in its like very, very high praise reviews, but also it's Game of the Year announcement for the Game Awards and stuff, alongside Elden Ring February. It's been so long since we played that, but I know when you were playing it, you're like, there's nothing to top this for Game of the Year for me. But how you feeling?
Get fucking close to Elden Ring, like.
Yeah,
Elden Ring's something else entirely. Like it's not a video game. Elden Ring's like Elden Ring
is a way of life.
Yep. Does not even. I mean, it doesn't even. This doesn't beat Cult of the Lamb, Case of the Golden Idol for me. Like this is not in the sort of top 5. I'm super enjoying it, but it is like it's not new anymore. So I think that it's not doing something where I'm like, fuck, I haven't really seen something like this before. And I felt like parts of 2018 really felt like that. And also just the surprise of like how you rebooted that character, which I think was a huge part of the success of 2018 was just going like, not only was it doing some mechanical stuff that was interesting, the axe felt great, the Wanna was like a fun gimmick, but like the gritty reboot of that father-son story was like not what you expected from a dude who literally used to use naked women to like stop gears indoors from closing. And so you go like that pivot was so massive that that was a lot of that made me love that first one. So yeah, but I am still really enjoying it. Should we, Pete,
cool.
do you want to go next or should we go to Gus?
Yeah, what do we talk about next in this world of just large video games? I feel like it's COD.
You reckon it's COD? Let's
today,
go COD.
right?
let's do it. Yeah,
Happy to talk about COD, guys?
Yesterday.
Sure. Yesterday. Yeah. That was ages ago.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't. No, it was today. I think it was today in Australia. It was yesterday.
This morning, right? Yeah.
It was today. It was 5 a.m. this morning. Yeah.
Wait, did you wake up for it? I think I did. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
It might have been 5 a.m. I jumped into COD because we got Warzone 2 released and Season 1 came out, and I've only had a little chance to jump into this, but I don't want to talk about the Battle Royale Warzone. I want to talk about the DMZ beta, which
is this your new plunder?
Game mode. This is my new fucking plunder, and I am salivating with the potential of this mode.
Really?
I'm so fucking excited for this. And from what I've played of it, it's like exactly my jam. This is everything I love in COD. It's everything I love. Look, it's Escape from Tarkov.
Okay.
And I've never played Escape from Tarkov. So, it's like,
so how do you know that?
Because I've watched people play Escape from Tarkov.
Right.
I respect the hell out of what that game is, but I just don't know where to start. I never really got into it. I love playing this this style of game with mates, and I don't think there was a way I was going to get a couple of my shooter friends into Escape from Tarkov because it's still just PC.
It's too hardcore as well.
And it's too hardcore. So I think COD coming along and just stealing the format is the perfect solution for me and how I want to play this. Because essentially, this is the same map from the Warzone, which is kind of like a Middle Eastern city, desert area, that kind of stuff. And I'm so happy to be back into Warzone that feels like, obviously, Warzone had to pivot with Vanguard, so we lost all of the stuff to do with Modern Warfare, the weapons, the loadouts, all that kind of stuff. And it moved to the Pacific Island, and we lost the Russian-style map and all that kind of stuff. And
was the Pacific Island the CIA one, though? Was that the last Black Ops one? Was that before Vanguard? I can't remember.
No. Vanguard was the Pacific Island.
Yeah, it dropped.
I just dropped off. So Black Ops changed. Oh yeah, sorry. The Russian map went 80s, and it was like a time jump,
and they brought in
same
weapons and stuff from that time, but.
From that, and then when Vanguard came out, they scrapped that island altogether and they moved it to a new map, and it just got sillier and sillier. Remember, I talked about the Godzilla Kong, all that kind of stuff. Like, it just did what COD does, which it just escalates like crazy until someone has to just come in and be like, "No, go back to what was good about it." And this is why I'm so excited, because this is literally the start of the new mode, which has so much potential, which I'm still so confused about in many aspects, which is such a lovely way to play these modes where you're like, I don't quite yet understand how this works. Obviously, the main, as I said, comparison with Escape from Tarkov is you are dropped into a map with up to a squad of 3. You move around a map that is populated heavily with AI enemies. So it's a PvE that then other people have been dropped in as well. You move around the map completing missions that you select before you go in, which are like a set of goals. You also can choose to go for some of the bigger things, like you can arm up and go for like a fortress and move in there and try and get as much gear out of it as possible. You can find a weapons cache to take gear out. If you die out in the world, you lose your stuff and your weapons, so you can't take them back in with you unless you insured them before you go back out. There's money and XP that you're trying to get. Yeah, basically it's I think probably Escape from Tarkov light. And I am, so freaking excited by it because, I just jumped in and did a few solo runs, and it was just so new for COD that it was like running around these bases that are sort of being patrolled by AI that I can't tell are amazing or really wonky. It's like I can't quite tell. They like set off alarms and all swarm the base and come running around, and the potential to then have to be able to run around and gank other people as you like watch them start little conflicts. I love that. I love that sort of asymmetrical up against the AI. I just jumped into one map and grabbed a Jeep and just drove for an exfil because I was like, I just want to see what it's like to get out of a map. And in that short time, the little adventure of me getting a car, getting chased by another car, leaping onto the roof of mine, because you can do the stuff from the campaign, getting to the chopper, calling the chopper, having to then bunker down while people started swarming at me, getting in the chopper as it takes off super slowly and fighting my way like to safety. It was just all these great moments that I'm like, that's what I've been playing. That's what we loved about previous Warzone that just kind of ceased to be at some point. So yeah, that's why this looks like it has potential. I'm sure there's a lot to learn in it, and I'm sure it might still be kind of wonky, but man, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped.
There's like crafting and survival and stuff in it as well.
I don't think there's
I just saw you could pick up like light bulbs.
I don't know if you're finding wax like from candles.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, the only, and again, and between that, I've done 2 quick drops into regular Warzone, regular Battle Royale, just to see what features have changed in the 2.0 kind of like rebuild with Modern Warfare 2. And I can feel a substantial kind of change to the character, like the movement system. You've got mantling. You can't pull weapons when you're dropping as quickly, so everyone doesn't shoot each other out of the sky. The vehicles, and there's like gas stations and refueling, and I think the way you accept bounties and missions and all that kind of stuff is slightly changed. So yeah, it's like I'm excited to relearn all that stuff a little bit and see how they've tried to tweak it. But yeah, predominantly it's not going to be by playing the Battle Royale, because I just never enjoyed going for regular Battle Royale in COD. It was always still that frustration of getting shot quickly by someone and not having the ability to get back into the game. And so I think here being up against AI with friends is going to lead to some longer play sessions. And again, the thing I love is the goal setting in these things. I love the idea isn't just survive. It's like, what is our mission? Do we want to go and like hunt down other squads? Do we want to try and, get as much gear as possible by staying as quiet as possible? And yeah, the other major thing which I learned, which is maybe more Tarkov-y, is that instead of having a circle that closes in on you, there's a radiated area from the beginning of the game that starts and expands outwards. So there'll be a hotspot that will eventually balloon out and become like, yeah, you can't get in there without a gas mask, and that's the way that it's forcing people to wrap up in what I assume is like a half an hour or something to make the sessions all rotate round. But yeah, I don't know much more about it. And again, I'm really pumped to work out like the token system, the way that you're buying weapons and finding blueprints for really like great weapons that you'll be like, great, I'm super geared up. Do I risk taking that in on a run and then dying and not being able to bring it back with me, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope people are playing. I hope people get into this and it doesn't die off, because yeah, that can happen with COD with these modes. But yeah, I'm freaking excited. I only played 3 games of it, awesome. And I'm dying to finish this so I can go play more of it.
I love that
you're telling us to shut the hell up.
Yeah, I love that we have 3 radically different things that we enjoy about Call of Duty. Like, I used to be the same as Pete, where Pete's like, I'm here to just smash with the single player in one sitting and then be like, I'm done with you now and I'm leaving you alone. Gus is obsessed with Warzone, and I cannot stand Warzone, and all I'm playing at the moment is the multiplayer.
Yeah, right.
I tried to play some games of this today. I think it's a thing where, like, you said you did it solo, but like, I don't think that this is designed. Like, I'm just not built to play this by myself, and I don't think it's designed to be played. But I just find it so excruciating.
The fact that when you get downed by yourself, you just sit there like with a press B to die quicker, and I'm sure you could get self-revive kits, but you're like, oh, that really puts the digs the heel in that I'm playing this by myself. Like, totally. I get it.
And it just and all the things that you're like, I'm so excited to just like learn how to play this. I was like, tell me how to fucking play. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And this is ridiculous. And then like, there's so much alone time and downtime, and then suddenly it's like, it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from the beloved sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond, where Raymond's brother is talking about being a cop. He's describing, someone asked him, what is it like being a cop? And he's like, it's hours of boredom interspersed with moments of sheer terror. And that's what playing Call of Duty Warzone is. It's just, I'm constantly going, what the fuck is everyone? What is this? I'm picking up all this shit, and then suddenly I'm assaulted by 3 people and I'm in a gulag. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? But in multiplayer, look, I'm fucking playing so much multiplayer, and I adore it, and it's so good. And I'm like, that will surely translate over to this. Not at all. Maybe if I play with you, and I do want to play with you at some point so that you can impart on me some of your joy for this. But I also like that Call of Duty is a big enough franchise that literally there are 3 parts of Call of Duty that could be given to 3 people who are not interested in the other 2 parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I'm pumped about the social aspect of it, in the sense that it's like, playing solo was fun just because it's all new. It's a new map. It's all felt very foreign. I could see that getting boring quickly, and for me, squatting up with some mates and then running around and making that a COD experience. I agree entirely with you with that analogy for Warzone, for Battle Royale in particular, because I do think having all the enemies and the AI around here does change your fear level of like what you are doing, and you feel a little more confident to engage with the AI. And I haven't run into it yet, but I love the idea of hearing a gunfight off in the distance and being like, well, that can only mean that someone else is engaging. So do I choose to go towards it or away from it? So I find versus Battle Royale is, you're right. I don't even have the stomach or the the blood pressure for it. It's just too stressful, and it's super infuriating. Whereas I think here, like, there might be more of those bigger, and like I mentioned with the car exfilling, it's like there's just a few more moments for opportunities for craziness. And if you saw the launch trailer for this, there's like underwater combat. I think you can pick up vehicles with choppers and stuff. So I hope there's a bit more sandboxy stuff in there. Not quite Fortnite level, but I think that they might be upping a bit more of the freedom of it, which could be fun as well. Cool. But I'm yet to experience that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm keen to check out Warzone 2.0 because I quite enjoyed the first Warzone, but it definitely didn't become like the battle royale that I would go to, and it's still PUBG. That's the one that I go back to, and I'm like, this is what I want out of that fear. Nothing quite matches the fear of PUBG.
Yeah.
There's something about it. There's something about like and Tarkov has it as well. It's like it's all compounded by the fact that inventory management is so fucking shit. You're like, I have to open my backpack to get out of here.
Yeah, I could be totally wrong about this take, but because I played a bit of PUBG, but not a lot. But I do think you're right. I think it's that it feels like the game is working against you. And then like that's part of what makes it so tense. Whereas Call of Duty is so slick and so streamlined. It's like, oh yeah,
Totally,
it's Call of Duty multiplayer, but in a much bigger environment. Where
We just saw someone like quickly pull out a scope and like jump behind a boulder, jump up, shoot them, and move on and heal. Like to do that in PUBG takes like finessing around the F1 keys, being able to tab and untab. You're right, and that's where I got my fill of battle royale playing PUBG. I haven't gone back, but like. That was, as you're totally right, Pete. That was the version of it that felt the most kind of like weighty and stressful. You hear a crack of a gunshot and you're like, go into a panic. Whereas people are doing this. They're leaping off tents and doing little 360 jumps and like the gunfight breaks out and everyone starts parkouring. And you're like, what is this? This is crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, to its credit, because there's armor and stuff, firefights last a little longer. But it's still like this guy's going to crack this dude in the head, right? I mean, he's still alive. Doesn't die. Whereas
also, I think Reese pointed out as well. Remember how excited I got about was it like the Biohazard mode in Battlefield 2042 that came out? Was it called like Biohazard or something? And I feel like it takes a COD to come along and do that better than Tarkov and better than Battlefield. So I really hope that this has a big player base. And this is my new plunder. DMZ baby.
I'm excited for you. Should we do what the other game you've been playing as well, and then we'll move on to
why not?
Arguably the best game of the week.
Completely other flip side of that coin is I checked out Sommerville, which is a game that came out on Game Pass a couple of days ago or this week. This is a game by a studio that was co-developed by one of the developers who worked on Limbo and Inside. So you see some kind of parallels between those games in terms of it is a very sort of not this bit of the gameplay particularly.
It totally is. It's just like a 3D version of that with a little.
This was like an adorable but terrifying intro to a mysterious, very obtuse and kind of like obscure mystery story set around you as a father who loses his wife and child in the first minute. So for what you're seeing here, it is the setting of an alien invasion that basically just appears. I don't want to spoil too much more than that because I believe it's a pretty short game. I think it's only around sort of like 4 to 5 hours from what I've heard. But essentially, it is a slow-paced, very moody, very kind of draining but sort of mysterious game that's
the box quote, draining.
That is
back pocket.
That is beautifully
That's also the slogan
told.
to OnlyFans, right?
Yeah, exactly. Basically you are this man, you set out on a sort of a quest to sort of discover what's been going on. It's all very mysterious. There's no dialogue. It is essentially all told just through these beautiful camera movements, this stunning art style, which is just a kind of like, fortunately, a little more colorful and a little more personality in it than your Insides and your Limbo. Not hard to do, considering those games were like monotone. But Nick, I think you'll get a real kick out of this. It's got some real kind of like Kentucky Route Zero meets Lone Far Sales meets Limbo kind of vibes to it. And in the first like hour or so I've played, it is stunningly moody, especially once you set off from this setting and once everything kind of kicks off. It is not an action game. It is still all about just like moving from space to space as you encounter mysterious elements of what's happened to the world. And in terms of interaction, you really only have one sort of ability, which maybe if you skip kind of like, I guess, possibly like sort of 20 minutes ahead or something, you might see the character using basically like an alien ability once this whole thing, or maybe even back a little further. Yeah, from here, you move through this world after there's a pretty serious time jump. This is all I know about the game. And you have like an ability that you pick up from a stranger that gives you the ability to find light sources in the world. and then pulse your arm against them, and you can use that to move alien technology or destroy it. So it's fairly limited for the first version of it.
When you say move, like, are there? Is it kind of like a puzzle thing where there's like 3 things here that you need to, and they're the only things you can interact with, and you need to like match the light source to get the power to move? I think
calling it a puzzle game is a stretch, in the same way that like Limbo wasn't a puzzle game. It was like there's only really 1 or 2 things I can do here. Even just seeing this
like
little
a narrative
movement here,
platformer.
It's like there's one thing to interact with. You just have to work out the right way to do it. But yeah, it is beautifully
looks fucking
shot
gorgeous.
And framed. I would say like, but unfortunately, it's kind of the same thing I want to criticize about it, which is that sometimes it's not really clear what you are to interact with. But again, I love that because it means there's not a HUD or there's not an indicator saying, an arrow pointing at what you need to do. But that is essentially still a frustrating thing to do sometimes, to be like pushing up against something when the camera has swooped all the way back and you're like, I can't even see, is he putting his hand on that fence or is he trying to no, I can't quite tell. So there's a few of those moments that can feel a little clunky, but I would say they're not hard and you don't get stuck in them for any longer than like a minute or 2. But we might see it here, maybe not. I haven't gotten much further than sort of here, where it's like, yeah, you use this sort of alien power very in a limited sense. So it's not exactly kind of like piecing it all together as a puzzle. But from what I've played so far, it is super moody. It is super beautiful. Can you pet the dog, Mac and Dagda? You can at the start as the toddler. You are escorted by a little fluffy dog with you the whole way through. That's just kind of there as a mood setter, I think. But from everything else I've seen,
I think they're Irish setters, Gus.
Oh, thank you, Peter. But yeah, I think I love
that is
how
the nerdiest canine joke I've ever heard.
I love the mood of this game, and I have a feeling it's not going to really answer any questions as I move on with it. Like, it just feels like it is like Limbo and Inside that came before it. It wasn't really there to put a bow on the end of the story and make you understand it. It's just there because it was such a vibe. And so, yeah, I think in that sense, I think you both really like it. I think here, if we just see possibly this little section here is kind of like the standard puzzle solving, which is that by pulsing your arm on this light, you destroy that structure, which you can tell that structure is alien formation. It's kind of like a fractal bit of architecture or something. So there's usually only one way to solve every puzzle, and there's elements of like, it ramps up with a bit of survivalness and then slows down for a bit of puzzle. Then there's a bit of character interaction, but I think it's paced really well, and I think I'm only maybe a couple of hours from probably completing it, and I highly recommend it because it's on Game Pass. It's super like chill. It's not exactly like a stressful environment, but game. But I think there are fail states that I've run into 1 or 2, but it's like Limbo. It just kind of dips to black and resets you and goes, try again, and you're like, okay, cool. So yeah, I think you both really dig this. It's cool.
Yeah, it's been getting like, I don't even think mixed is the right word. Like, it's been getting between like 7s and 9s across the board, really. Like, if we're just going with the dumb number system. But I'm so interested in checking it out, even just because, like, again, like, if it's 4 hours long, I'll play anything that just has a cool tone or a good mood or a good look to it. It's like 4 hours of a game is enough to be like, I like just sitting in front of things that look like this for 4 hours long.
Absolutely.
And
it might look a little grey and
like totally nail the story.
It might look a little grey and washed out, but I think it's a real improvement on like some of those other moodier like Far Lone Sails and stuff were bleak and stayed bleak, whereas there's some real lovely joyful moments, especially this like fractal thing when you walk through this blue stuff. Like the alien technology and stuff is stunning, and like there's little moments of beauty in it all, and some of the more terrorizing moments are also beautiful. So it's kind of like it's that you're meant to be like in these larger sort of more cinematic moments. They are like Arrival meets Death Stranding meets
cool.
It's very cool. So I reckon everyone should give it a cheeky play.
No, Pete has COVID because you said Death Stranding and he was like, yeah, cool.
Oh god, he is not well.
He's not well. He's gonna rethink that whole Matrix take.
I love the Strand game.
Peter, how do you feel about a Renaissance
what else is on
biblical
Game
drawing
Pass?
game?
Maybe motherfucking Game of the Year?
Man, okay.
This
Are
thing,
you saying that just because I think that, or are you saying that because you think that too?
I think it's up there for me.
Yeah.
Pentiment. By
We
Obsidian
weren't too hot on this
Entertainment.
when it was announced, were we?
No,
Well, it was kind of just like that looks like a
that's a thing.
middling kind of thing, but
It looks like
Obsidian's
an art
attached to it,
style
so
that
we should
someone
keep an
made
eye
a
on
game
it.
out of an art style more than anything else. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Well done, Gus. Yeah, that's totally that's it.
I was like, I'm going to check this out, and I have not wanted to stop playing it at any point. It is
It's like Warzone.
it's just like Warzone. You're
Where we dropping the monastery?
It's at like in 16th century Bavaria, so it's like medieval Europe, and you're like a journeyman artist who takes a position working at an abbey to complete your masterwork so that you can become a master of your trade. And your trade is scribing, but mainly the art that is in these classic, beautiful, Renaissance books.
Excuse me, Peter. My
Yeah.
trade is being a hedonist occult fan who spent a lot of time drinking in Italy.
Well, one of the beautiful things about the game is that it sets you up, and what we're looking at now is kind of the opening sequence is this dream that the main character, the character that you play, is having, and kind of the parts of his personality that exists within his dream as well, where he converses with parts of his kind of personality that tug him in different directions. And I should point out right from the start, it's got classic Obsidian kind of a narrative structure with so much dialogue and so many dialogue options. But the thing that makes it really, really beautiful and your own, and I think adds a lot of replayability, is that this character isn't fully developed as you land in them, and you kind of get questioned about like where you've been, and so you can choose your backstory as you're playing in a really like natural, beautiful way. It's like, oh yeah, I've been studying in Italy, or I was up in northern England doing such and such, or blah 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 blah, which dictates like and it's mostly flavor, but this whole game is flavor.
So your character's not lying or making up what it's like by saying it becomes fact.
No.
By saying it, you choose the story. Like at the start of Mass Effect, where you're like, I was taken from a colony and blah 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 blah. But it happens much more organically in this, where it's kind of like naturally probed out of you at the start, and you go, okay, well this is this and this is this, and then as you're conversing with people later, you might have more dialogue options based on your history.
So here you clicked, I went on a Kentucky tour.
Well, this is still the dream. But the game puts you in this town called what's it called? Tanner?
Tasser. Yeah. Tasser. Yeah.
Can't remember.
I'll look it up.
But you are living with peasants in the town, and then making your daily trek up to the abbey to do your work. Tassing. Thank you. And the structure of the game is that you converse, and then, the structure of the game is that there are days, and you wake up in the morning, and you have X amount of work time before a meal break, and then you have X amount of time before dinner, and then you go to bed. And throughout the day, your goal is to just gather as much information as you possibly can. Talk to everyone. You can dine with people as well, so you spend meal breaks sitting with people, but you also have this pressure of, you've got work to do, so you got to go to work, and you got to sit down at your scribe desk and work on this work for, that's been commissioned. And so basically it all comes to the point where someone comes to town, a murder happens, and everything that you've learned in this first day suddenly gets put to task as you become an investigator in this town, who's not with the church but works with the church, who's not with the peasants but lives with the peasants, who's torn between these two worlds, and it's
You know what?
perfect.
You know what he is? He's a great listener. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Like that's his defining trait is he will just, everyone kind of talks to him. And it's so great because because it's like Pete said, it's sort of broken up into chapters. And the first murder in this chapter is this dude comes to town and he kind of like, you sort of like join up with him for a little bit and you guys kind of get on depending on how you play it. But like, I don't think there's really a way that you don't get on pretty well. But as you're hanging out with him in the morning, multiple fucking people come up and are like, have a grievance with this guy in some way where it's like, oh, you have pissed this person off. And I don't quite know how this happened, but like there is shit is happening with you and the nun, you and that random lady who just appeared on the thing. Like, and so by the end, it's like, if I had to pick anyone in this town to die under mysterious circumstances, this fucking dude I've been hanging out
that
with all
guy gets
day
up
is
and goes, well, I'm off for my day to live a joyful life. And you're like, oh, he did.
Yeah. That guy stands up and goes, I'll be right back, and shuts the door. It's very cool.
I'm so impressed that it is working so well for me, and it's not a classic point and click where you're out like, I'll pick up a stick and I might wrap something, and like I'm not making anything. It's literally just about conversations and relationships and the time pressure of you can't do everything. You can't accomplish every investigation in the amount of time that you have. So that's where the joy of the pressure of it comes in, is when you go, I need to make decisions, and it means foregoing other information because I'm pursuing this.
Someone in chat said it's like Persona, and it really is, being nothing like Persona. But it is that thing of there's a certain amount of time in the day. You can only talk to X amount of people, and you're trying to figure something out, and that is it's totally Persona while not being it at all. It's so fucking good. The writing is so good. The other thing that sorry, Gus.
I was just going to say, I've seen nothing but like 10s across the board. Like people are raving about it as you joked, game of the year. It's like,
this is so my shit. Like it's a murder mystery game, which again, like I'm in no matter what. Stunning. My favorite thing about this game is kind of like it's a bit like the God of War 1, I suppose, which are the fonts. So there's this great
I've just
article
been
on
staring
Polygon.
at them.
Where they talk about how they develop the fonts. There's 6 fonts in the game, so 6 different handwriting styles, and different people have different styles depending on
education,
their background, their level of education.
Yep.
So like the clergy will have one very like gothic heavy, totally like
he spends an hour on the first letter, and then every other letter is just like
but then like there's a kid who has scroll with a bunch of spelling mistakes in it, and then people will be talking to you and it will all be written out in handwriting, and then depending on their level of education, there's spelling mistakes that happen that then get like scrubbed out and replaced. Depending on their level of education, it's the amount of times those spelling mistakes will appear or not appear. It's all quite surface level at this point, but it is so flavorful and immediately just sets such a beautiful tone. And there's the great moment in this where you are talking, so it might even be right here. You're talking to the dude who, like, spoilers,
Cad.
This is the guy who's gonna die. You are talking to him, and he has this sort of flourish handwriting, and your handwriting is much more like almost like print. And just there where it changes. So it changes because he tells you that he makes a reference, and you go, oh, you must have went to school somewhere. And he goes, no, I was just wealthy enough that I never had any problem getting access to education. And as soon as he tells you that, and you realize he's more educated than you think he is, his handwriting changes from the sort of like scroll of someone writing a letter to the print of someone who writes books. And it is this beautiful moment of like your character perceiving someone differently because suddenly they've learned a new piece of information about them.
I love this. I love this ye olde spell check.
And then, the book thing is like, there are underlined words that are like people or places or important things to know. You click on the word and it pulls you out to this, and it gives you a lot of context. And I think the other thing that's really interesting about this game, I love ancient history, but I'm not.
Choice as well.
I'm not. I love ancient history. I'm not by any stretch an ancient history scholar, but I'm very fascinated by it. this game, more than most games that I've played set in a time period anything other than the last 100 years, feels incredibly authentic to the time period, as opposed to we've kind of hodgepodged together the idea of the Middle Ages and just gone, all right, all of like things from this area and this area and this religion and this style of living have all sort of like been smushed together. Also, no black people would have authentically been in this period, so that's why everyone's white. Like, this game is very much like, no, it ties itself to a literal like day in the calendar, and it feels it feels realistic in the way that it is treating everyone, that they're not all cliches about like, this is how the nuns are, and this is how the clergy are, and this is how the wealthy landowners are, and everyone's just like poor and dirty and that sort of thing. Like, it really does feel like you're a fucking person living in this time period, and it's just a joy. It is just so delightful. And I've heard that as the game goes on, it just gets messier and messier in terms of the decisions that you need to make, the encounters that you're coming up with, the way that you're living in the game, because the game is spread over, I think it's the course of like 15 or 20 years between the chapters, and you're just going through like a fucking life and how hard life could be in this time period. I just like the menus alone. Like, look at the fucking this. How good is this thing, Pete?
Yeah, it's amazing. I was interested to see how you would feel about this game, having just played what's it called, the Golden something.
Case of the Golden Idol.
Case of the Golden Idol, which as I was playing, I was like, I reckon Nick's gonna love this, and I was like, oh, I wonder if the Case of the Golden Idol, because it has more in-depth systems of investigation, is going to be like this is going to play a little bit too simple for you. But how did you feel in comparison?
I mean, it's certainly like it's reductive to call this like a visual novel because it's not that, because there's certainly more going on here. It doesn't have the amount of like puzzle problem solving systems, and I know that like Here's the Golden Idol is very much like, there is one correct answer, and you will sit here and figure that answer out. And this is like, oh, well, there's an answer, but we're not going to tell you what it is, and we're not necessarily going to tell you if you get it. You just kind of need to make a decision that you're comfortable living with. And
it is possible to get it.
Totally.
It is just go and convert.
He went very robot-y, but he's smiling. The frozen image of him smiling, I think, reflects how he feels about this game.
I thought it was me, but no, I think Pete's might be needing it.
He will do, this happened before. He could do a restart and he should be okay. Peter, you back? He's back in Discord, but he's not back in Bmac, so we're just going to wait 2 seconds and Pete's going to turn up.
You were saying, Nick, in the same way, like with the sort of Persona comparisons, it's like you're not there to get it correct and move on. It's like your character might as well move on. Like, but you do need to solve these, or not solve, but you need
to accuse someone.
Conclusion?
You need to like basically go, I think that this person committed the crime, and I need to be okay with living with the choice that this person has committed the crime.
But you don't even need to technically. There's already someone accused of the crime.
It's fair.
And it's up to you. Like, you could do nothing. You could just go to bed.
Very fair. Yeah.
You could just go to bed and let it happen. But you could also justify doing that. But
yeah, totally. 100%.
It's just like, it's so real. That's what's so compelling to me, is that I want to talk to everyone because it all feels so perfectly connected. And it's like, Obsidian are amazing at doing this. And it's why people talk so fondly about the Obsidian Fallout game. And, and even
Vegas.
Outer Worlds as like the narrative of it being really strong, despite maybe Outer Worlds not being the strongest game. And the way that they write interesting characters that connect beyond what you can see and can even fathom will happen is just, and this is obviously not a heightened reality version of that. This is a very real reality version of that, which is like, it's almost boring that the lives these people live, But that's what's so beautiful and perfect about it, because your character is so inquisitive and genuine. Like, it's like you're Louis Theroux, but
that's
like you're just like
it's why he's just such a good listener.
Yeah.
You're there to listen and let everyone
tell
else
him everything.
it's
But they'll tell him everything not in the way that like most traditional video games, just because he's the protagonist. They'll tell him everything like Pete said earlier. It's because he manages to walk between the different worlds and class stratospheres like within this game. Like, he is someone who actually everyone feels comfortable talking to because he can relate to everyone in some level. In some ways, he's almost like a ghost that can wander through this world. But also you can really roleplay him to have a personality as well, which I think is super important. Like, he's not just like Andreas is not just question asker. Like, I am very much playing him as cheeky drunk who has decided to try to settle down and become the artist that he's always wanted to, but at the same time kind of wants to bang everyone. Has a massive interest in the occult and likes to tell the clergy about that all the time. Like, my dude certainly has a personality that could be incredibly different to the personality based on like 4 decisions that you make from anyone else playing this game.
Mine is way different. I'm like, my guy's a straighty 180. He wants to impress his dad, so he studied business and law, and he's a logical thinker, and but he did go to Italy, so he's got a bit of a flavor for that. But it's always like, well, the law says this, and then everyone's like, shut the fuck up about the law. It gets me nowhere. It gets me nowhere ever.
It's so good, and you like, so to answer your question about the idea of like the difference between something like this and Case of the Golden Idol, they're both up there in my top 5 of this year already. I've got one more case for Idol, and then I finish the game. And I've got probably another 10 hours of this game. But they are doing both the same thing and such radically different things. And like you, I'm just so drawn into the world that this game puts you in. It's not a world we see in video games very often. The writing is amazing. The characters are so fun and delightful, and like, you don't get a huge amount of interaction with them, but they're also deep. You can tell that there's characterization behind everyone there. Even just the portraits of them give you like a super great snapshot of the kind of person that you're going to be running up against. Adore it. I just like, this is the shit I love about video games. Like, and I listened to a great interview with the director of this game, and he was talking about how when Obsidian, when like Bethesda were, I think it must have been when they were in talks to be bought by Xbox, and he was like, without something like Game Pass, there's no world I would have been even comfortable pitching this game in, because there is too much. Like, it would either be rejected or it's like it would just die, because like, who the fuck is going to play this game? Like, this doesn't look like anything that most people who play video games are looking for. But because of something like Game Pass, it's like, you can check it out for free. This game that looks like an illumination painting from the Bible. But I cannot recommend it enough. Like, it is so fucking a joyful experience, and I cannot wait to continue playing it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, cool.
I just want to catch Calaris in chat saying, because I think they misinterpreted what you said before, just regarding diversity in this game, people of color were present, so it's not a good reason for not including them. They are in this game. They weren't in a Kingdom Come Deliverance or something like that, which is like, that's why you said it, because it's been used as an excuse before. We want to create a medieval reality, and it's like, well, that's the reality of the medieval world, was people were moving around on ships all over the fucking place.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. That like, people go like, oh, the medieval time period, here we've smushed a bunch of things together and we've removed any nuance. And that's not, this game is the opposite of that. This game is entirely nuance. It's so good. Cannot recommend. Our audience, I feel like, would love this game. So those are games that we've been playing this week: God of War, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2.0 DMZ, the longest fucking game title ever, Sommerville, and Pentiment. And these are all things that are definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. Something else worth checking out: the upcoming commercial break, because we'll be back with more Back Pocket after this.
Hello there, I'm Gus.
And I'm Steph.
And today we're playing a very special game from MaxJazzGames.
There's a sort of cat thing.
He's holding a donut, I think.
Do you know what it is?
That's right, it's Kung Pooby.
Do you play Kung Pooby?
Maybe you play Kung Pooby with your parents.
And if you do you sing the Kung Pooby song?
Would you like to sing the Kung Pooby song with us? Come on.
Kung Pooby.
Kung Pooby. Pooby here, Pooby there, Pooby everywhere.
Do you know who else plays Kung Pooby? That's right, it's Pockety. I wonder which window the Pockety is in today.
Let's have a look.
Is it in the round window?
Or the foot window?
Or is it in the Angus shitting himself window?
That's right, it's in the severed foot window.
We've had a lot of fun today playing MaxJazzGames, haven't we, Gus?
We sure have, Steph. Well, it's time to go now.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
December 15th, 2015, Nick Belling says, fuck buses. Sorry?
Fuck buses. And isn't that...
I fuck buses?
No,
Or-
fuck buses.
Yeah, fuck
And-
buses.
And
yeah.
isn't that prevalent in today's COVID society?
Well, yeah, unless
Buses are COVID traps.
super spreaders.
Fuck them.
Sure. I just want to be the one that throws this out there.
Public transport.
Fuck 'em.
Maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
he's not against public transport.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
he's into it.
No, he's shark tanking an idea. Fuck buses.
It's all about inflection.
Yeah.
Fuck buses.
Fuck
It's
buses.
all about inflection.
In which
It's all about
case-
erection.
In which case, all aboard. That's their catchphrase.
You know what their other
Train
Oh,
one.
okay.
I get it. but-
And you know what their other catchphrase is? Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em.
Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick. From God. Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick, Dota dick.
Ooh, there it is, Lord of the Rings. Extended edition Blu-ray copies. Hey, did you realize I bought the Lord of the Rings extended edition on iTunes, and it comes with all the special features.
Oh, lovely.
How fucking cool is that?
It's very cool.
I had no idea. I spent a couple of hours just watching the documentary stuff.
Hey, you know when he
God,
kicks
it's-
a
that is
helmet?
such good backside. Yeah. Did you know that it was really warm during the snow scenes?
Did you know the guy who was this is actually a real one. The guy who was like, there was a guy cast to play Aragorn who did like 2 days and then got fired. How fucking
Yeah,
sad.
Stuart Townsend.
Yeah.
Who's he again?
He went on to do. He's Australian. He was the guy who he went to do the film with Leia about the vampires. What's the fucking name?
There's so many vampire movies. It's like
Stuart Townsend. Oh no, he's Irish, not Australian. Queen of the Damned. Queen of the
Yikes.
Oh yeah,
Damned.
that's
Queen
right.
of the Damned.
He's done a lot of average stuff. I think he was in
Yeah.
Blade as well, the first one. Anyway,
Did you know that John Rhys Davies is the tallest member of the Fellowship?
do you know John Rhys Davies is going to be in the new Indiana Jones film?
Oh, awesome.
Because like as I forget the
God.
character's name, but
Bad Dates. I'm pretty sure the
Bad
character's
Dates
name
guy.
is Bad Dates.
Yeah.
Bad
And when
Dates.
he comes to the Randwick Ritz, is he going to shut up? Or is he
we
just
were,
going to
well,
talk
we
for
were all
longer
there
than
for
the
that.
film?
We've told
Yeah,
the story
yeah.
before, but all through, yeah, that was wild. That was fucking
Good
wild.
times, good times,
Man,
good
just
times.
Walked out on
Stars.
Gimli. Tick bucket list.
Yeah, you're as tall as you can talk. All right. Speaking of people who we recommend, who are not the tallest member of the Fellowship, but they certainly do power the Fellowship to get all the way up the hill. And then, of course, is Pixel Beans Coffee. Hey,
Up the
guess who had
hill.
a drink?
It's a mountain, Nick.
Of doom.
It was a mountain. It was a mountain to the hobbits because they were small.
Oh.
To John Rhys
To
Davies,
everyone
it's
else.
It's
just
but
a
a
hill.
molehill.
One does not simply walk up a hill.
Fuck yes.
Oh, that's good.
Pixel Beans Coffee, please bring up the card. Use the code BACKPOCKET for 20% off coffee. Now, Gus, I realized I stole your idea.
Well, I'm still going to make them for all of us when we're in the studio, when we have the studio back. But I saw you had a little espresso martini. It was a little pixel bean
And
flavor.
myself a little Pixel Beans espresso martini, and oh my fucking god, it was so delicious. I'm tempted to go make another one, but I'll wake up the children with the grinding of the coffee. So we'll have to do it next week in the studio. They have shipped. I already had some here. They've shipped new ones to you, Gus, directly, so that you can make all of us espresso martinis next week. And apparently, they also added a little secret something in there as well. Now I'm not entirely sure what it is, but they said a little
little
something
bit
to
of
make a
Steve
little
Jobs?
something else. It's just a smattering of jobs.
I thought Pete would have
Did we
liked
say
that
that
joke.
on
but-
air, or was that before the show started?
I thought Pete would like that joke, but he's got a very stern face and he didn't laugh at my joke because he's dropped out again.
He's refreshed again. Did we say that before the show, or was that on air?
That was on air.
That was
It's
on
one of
air.
those-
Okay, good. It's
I'm
been
with
a
you
while.
though. It's been a weird night. It will continue to be a weird night.
And but if you feel like the weird night has to continue for the rest of the night, then get yourself some Pixel Beans coffee, the official business pocket partner coffee provider of Backpocket, and we cannot thank them enough. Use the code Backpocket on checkout to get yourself a sweet 20% discount.
They're yet
Pete
to be
froze
approved
again?
new catchphrase.
Again.
Oh God, Pete.
I think, Pete, do you want to restart your computer? We can't hear him. We assume
no.
he's saying yes.
Pixel Beans is yet to be confirmed new catchphrase. Hey, want to keep this weird night going? Pixel Beans. Yet to be approved, but I reckon they'll dig it.
I love that. I love that so much. We should get a alcohol sponsor for the first part of the show, and then a coffee sponsor for the second half. So it should be
Yes.
like a couple of drinks, and then Pixel Beans. You want to keep this weird night going? Pixel Beans coffee.
Perfect. Did Pete just go back to a position that he froze in earlier? That's amazing. Okay, you're back.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
I don't know. what the fuck's going on.
Cool. Let's move on to our next segment. A little something we like to call.
Wait, I'm not actually back. I can't control the show yet.
Okay, right.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
We can see you.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
I,
you look great.
For some reason, I can't pass.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, no.
You look.
Oh,
I was
no.
going to say he looks better than when the show started, where he's lost
Fuck.
his sheen. I think he's
Doesn't
getting
he look
healthier as the
good?
show goes on.
I just feel like COVID just agrees with some people, and I feel like, but I do think that Pete's a very handsome dude, just like full stop.
I think he's just lost his fever sweats, so he's just.
He's just not carrying a lot of moisture. That's what it is. He's
Not as
doing
much
that
as he
thing
was
that
at the
Hugh
start.
Jackman did before the topless scene in. Do we call it a topless scene when it's a man? We should.
We'd say shirtless scene for a man, wouldn't
Shirtless scene in Les Mis.
we? What? Oh, I thought you were going to say Wolverine.
Well, he probably does it for all the shirtless stuff in Wolverine as well. But like, basically, like he didn't drink water for like 2 days before.
He was
the
trying to
Les
look
Mis.
like emaciated and like unwell in that as like a laboring sleeveman. He wasn't trying to look cut like by not drinking water, I would have assumed.
But you can't drink. If you want to look cut, you can't drink water. You can't. You can't have any excess anything in your body other than muscle and steroids. That's the rule. Hi, Pete.
Isn't that right, Pete?
I reckon. I don't know what the fuck is going on, My like network adapter is freaking out because my fans
dates.
just like spin up like crazy, and then my and then the internet drops out.
It's a cursed. I would say it's a cursed week, but it's been a cursed fortnight. So yeah, look.
Love a cursed
It's
fortnight.
been rough. We
I seem
get
to be
past
stable
Saturday
at the
night,
moment.
and then everything will be fine. Oh no!
Oh my
he's
god!
gone. Restart your computer. You could have restarted it 3 times already.
Can he do that? Do we die if he does that?
No, because this isn't this the work computer, or is this the show computer? It can't be the show computer, because if he was freezing, we'd all freeze.
Although someone is in the office messing with computers right now, so that could be the reason. Let's blame the person who's not here.
Have we spoken about this person? We're talking about them as though we're ashamed.
I feel that's on them to introduce themselves when and if they feel that's appropriate.
I feel like it's on them to introduce themselves when they don't have access to any on-camera shows which we produce.
Well, I just think it's only right that we let them if they feel so.
They tweeted it out.
That wasn't to be on this shit show.
Okay, sure. We definitely don't want the person who we hired to be our technical director and ensure the stability and quality of all of our streamed content to be appearing on this show in this moment.
In this exact moment? Yeah, no, that's probably not the right time for it. But Peter's assured us that he's restarting now, so we'll come back from that and tell the people what they're going to see next, which is the. Are we going to say a highlight of this evening's show as it like plummets downwards or upwards?
I think the highlight was figuring out where Steve Jobs' corpse is, but other than that,
what else should we do next week when we're back in? Because we'll celebrate. We'll have Steph back. We'll do espresso martinis. We'll hopefully have some form of semblance.
Your thing of the show is we'll have Steph back and we'll drink. So should I put that in the rundown? That's what I should.
Please.
I should
Top
put
line
as,
of the
this is the
rundown
content. Ben can put that in the calendar as that's what to look forward to for
That'll
next
just
week.
be on the schedule that goes out on socials and Discord. We're gonna play a game.
What are we doing now, Gus?
We're gonna play a game, but I thought we'd remind everyone again that if they're sticking around tonight, we are still giving away that collector's edition of God of War Ragnarok. The game I won't play for another 3 years, but you can play it if you are. Oh my god, it's gone entirely. We're going to do a Nightbot roll at the very end of the episode, so you got to stick through this next segment, which we like to call...
No way, dude.
Still too early.
Nowhere near. All of his,
nah, it's not going to happen.
all of his system tray icons are still loading in. We are going to give that away. We could just
we like to call,
which we like to call. Very good gameplay. Ooh, baby. Well, technically, I think this now needs to be sponsored by Middlecee.
Okay.
But we'll fix it later.
Someone paid for this. Well, you guys paid for this segment. You guys being the audience.
You mean they paid for the game that we're playing in this
game? Correct.
Yeah, because when we did our fundraising drive, one of the goals was that we would do a first look at Sonic Frontiers.
Woo! Why are you looking sheepish?
I was just wondering if it was about to fall apart again, but it seems to be online still.
We did it.
I can't tell. Now you're stuttering and freezing in real life, so I can't quite tell if it's happening.
Am I?
You're doing
you mean
Nick.
just like pausing?
Doing a Nick. Nick's doing it.
Nick's
I saw a little wobble.
Yeah. You can see the blood pulsing
He's had
up
that
his
espresso
neck.
martini. He's got all the jitters now. Try not laughing at that zinger, Nick.
Oh my god, maybe he is gone. It's been so long. He couldn't hold it for
I saw him. I saw a little chuckle down here, like he had a little internal laugh.
You had me at zingers.
Oh fuck, Pete's gone again. Oh no.
Damn it.
God damn it. Do you reckon this is all just trying to save us from having to play Sonic Frontiers?
Possibly. Have you played any of it yet?
No. I
played an hour.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah. I played the opening hour, and it is a fucking wild ride, and not in a fun way.
I'm super keen because I have no and I may not even after tonight have any affiliation or affinity for Sonic because we may not even get there. But
That's true.
I I'm never one of those people who's like, I wish Sonic was good again, because I've never believed that Sonic has ever been good.
Totally agree.
And
I have that
like
married
Sonic
with-
2 and Sonic Mania, I still consider to be games that have done the best with a compromised idea.
Well, that's exactly it. The people who then get on the bandwagon and say Sonic Mania was amazing, I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was very good at recreating and tapping into the nostalgia of the original Sonic, which if you then go back and play, controversial opinion, not a very good game. And so now people are doing this whole like, no, he's back and he's in 3D and it's amazing. And I'm like, it's really not. It's really not. It's like if Death Stranding and Breath of the Wild had a disgusting blue hedgehog baby and decided they didn't want it.
All right, I'm fingers crossed this is just going to hold together. I found a dongle, a network adapter dongle. That's one.
No, Petey, no. The way that just quietly went, and I think it's gonna work. Do you want me to play Warzone?
I am dead.
Nick, why don't we play Warzone?
Let's play some fucking Warzone, Gus. Boot it up. I mean, no one will be able to watch, but
Can't they? Can't I send it
let's
to a
just
thing
fucking
that
do
Pete
it.
sends it through another thing? That's a thing.
Yeah, send it to the thing. I'll boot it up now. What are you playing
Actually,
on?
I can boot up Sonic Frontiers, can't I? No, this is not going to work either. Oh, wow.
That was phenomenal.
It was
This
perfectly
should be the
timed.
segment. This should be the segment.
Pete's dying internet.
I found a dong.
I found it. Well, that happened to you the other day. You robot voiced harded midway through. Was it the news or something? Oh, no, maybe it was this. No, it was RRR. Oh, I've gone back and watched bits of like whole scenes of that movie.
Yeah,
again.
how fucking good is that movie, dude?
I've gone back and watched it. I'm going to make my brother-in-law and dad watch it with me at Christmas. We're going to watch it in 2 sittings. We're going to
Why
get up
2
to the
sittings?
intermission. Well, there's an intermission.
But you killed the momentum.
Don't
do it in 2 sittings. Don't do it
when
in.
you're my
Don't do it in 2.
Christmas and my family is like the time to drink a bottle of red wine and fall asleep on the couch. So I'll try, but I don't know if I can get them through. I can barely get them through a full feature film, let alone that 3 hour and 10-minute piece of cinema.
I don't know. It felt
joy.
fast. It felt fast. Anyway, do what you want.
I'll try.
Holy shit, it's
I'll
Harry
try.
Potter. They're talking about Pete. Yeah, I've got some other recommendations for Indian cinema to check out as well that are apparently not quite as batshit awesome, but relatively batshit awesome, and I think that's important. Also, these are by the person who said it's Harry Potter. These are new glasses, and I realized I got even more fucking Harry Potter glasses than my last pair of glasses.
Are you going the thin frame while I'm going the thick frame? Is that like our point of
Well, I got
distinction?
2. So I got these ones. What do we think about
Yep.
these? We like these. Yeah. And then I also got these ones, which look black, but are actually blue.
Ooh!
So,
I like them.
so
they're good.
They're the same. They're basically the same blue as my eyes. And I know what you're thinking. I've turned into the sort of like 55-year-old lesbian owner of an art gallery, but I haven't.
Well, I know what you're
it's
thinking.
just-
I've turned into Jeffrey Dahmer, but I haven't.
Surprise! I always was him.
Because this is the other pair I got.
yeah, good.
So we're sporting multiple
Good.
lenses.
I love it, Peter. Show us your glasses.
Yeah, what do you got, Pete? I went for the full clear aviators, and I really like them.
All right, get Josh in here. Fuck, I shouldn't have said his name. He wanted to come.
He
out
wanted to
party.
do it in his own time, Nick.
In his own time on his own show. Well, I blame Josh because he is in the studio right now, probably touching a lot of things.
I mean, touching your end. Yeah.
Let's figure out something else to do. Let's just let's just look
What
at
can
what's
I
on the
do on
should I look
my-
at
what
what's
can I do to
trending on
save this,
Twitter right
Peter?
now?
How can I?
Okay, so at the moment I'm seeing trending with 32,000 tweets, R.I.P. Jimmy Fallon.
What?
It's not real.
It's the show, though? Did he get axed?
Mm,
I hope he got axed.
no.
Did he do something and get cancelled? Hi, Peter.
Nah, I think it was just people
It was a
dreaming.
hoax, says Dragon Dundee.
dreaming a dream
It's
of
very
time gone
fake.
by.
Oh,
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna start streaming Sonic again and see if this just like overloads
It can't
my
even handle
shitty
you,
piece
Pete.
of network. Yeah. No.
Hey, it's Danny DeVito's birthday.
How old is he now? I'm going to have a guess and say he is 78.
Oh, good guess. Do you reckon 78?
I feel like
Oh my God, Gus, he's 78 years old.
Fuck off. Really?
No, 17th of November, 1944. My guy is
shit.
78 years old.
Amazing.
By the way, I just watched the most
amazing.
recent season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they're in Ireland.
Oh, how good is the zoo episode with the end of the zoo episode in the meerkats?
In the meerkat thing is
I love
amazing.
that so much.
The Irish episode where Mac wants to join the clergy I watched that last night, and then I played Pentiment immediately afterwards. And the reveal of like what the dude that he's hanging out with in that at the end of that episode is so wild that it's all I can think about while playing this fucking game. What a show!
Pete, do you want me to SRT Sonic?
Yeah, if you can.
I probably can't, but I'll give it I could give it a shot.
I seem to be staying on now.
Okay.
And I really want to play Sonic because I made you a present, Gus.
I really want a present.
So, this is Sonic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm going to be playing it in a tiny little OBS window. Now, I know you like to, if you get the time, you'll design a custom pockety when we're playing games like this. Big king hit games. But you didn't have time to do that today. So,
Oh no! Right on the reveal. Right on the reveal.
No.
Is the game like glitch quivering?
No!
Oh no! Gone.
What a disaster!
No. Looks like someone scribbled on your screen. Oh, what the fuck? Peter, you're meant to be resting.
Also, talk about an amazing reveal of being like, I know normally you would have designed a custom pockety. He robots out, Sonic freaks out and glitches for 20 seconds, and then this abomination appears above my head. Oh, fuck. I love it.
I don't like it. Oh, gotta go away.
Look, yeah,
it's catchphrase.
I might not be able to stream the game, but hopefully this will stay stable because it's just falling apart. I need to do some work on that bad boy.
I can try one more time.
Yeah.
On my end.
Yep.
Can we just put it really quickly? Everyone said when this game came out, they're like, it's like Sonic. The Sonic team went for the Sega team went for like the Breath of the Wild vibes with all the space and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, no, give more credit than that. It can't be like that. And then the first thing you do is see these little fucking little sprite characters with little like leaves growing out of their heads that are cute and bounce around in the world and make a sound like a maraca. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That is straight out of
stolen.
It's just stolen, I tells you.
Look at those fucking plants just
are
floating
you
in the
on
distance.
last digit 5?
Let me check. Check.
Chat, I just want to get, while we're seeing if this will work, can you just suggest some alternatives of things that we could do if this stream doesn't happen?
We could play words on
just so
stream.
we're prepared, because
No.
I would hate to think that we would have any dead air.
Was that a no to me, Gus?
Yeah, you might need to.
What is it? What is your last digit? Just say that.
It's from when we did studio stuff, so you might need to send me a new link. I was sending you Sonic to the studio.
You still are.
Oh, okay. My last digit is 6.
Okay, cool.
5, 5.
Nut
Yeah.
chat.
Do
Nut
you
chat.
want me to try that?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Nut chat takes a
Okay.
while to prep chat because I kind of
That's
exhausted
true.
all
There's
my
a lot of
knowledge
work in
about
it.
nuts in the first nut chat. I don't have anything else. Strip Tekken. I love that as an idea.
Strip tech.
Oh, amazing.
What did I stripped on stream? When did I do that? What was I playing? Something, but I got completely naked on stream at one point.
Sorry, I'm just gonna get audio.
Yes,
I may as well.
you
I'll
did.
send picture before I do audio.
Stanley Parable.
Alright.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That hole is gonna get so filled. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Does this look
during
like?
Stanley
Does this
Parable.
work?
Yep.
Amazing.
Is it chunky?
Technology.
Is it working?
It's working
That's
alright.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just not sending sound, am I?
Nah.
Okay, give me 30
We
seconds.
need it. I can do it. Bring, 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 bring.
Hang on. The only thing I'd have to do is set up audio output capture as the same as I'm currently listening to. Oh my god, I didn't want to do this live. Jesus. Oh my god. If I go to my audio output and set it to default, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not.
Content.
Yeah. I'm not, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That'll get our voices in
That'll
it. Get our voices in it.
Oh yeah. How do I fix that? No,
Stop
this
listening
thing-
to us. Stop listening to us. You can do.
Hang on.
You can do.
No,
Send it-
I can fix this.
Yeah.
You can do.
Turn it off.
Just send it to your television or something. Send the audio of the game to the
Of
television,
the
just using
game.
the Windows mixer.
Yep, I can do that. I remember this.
And then add that specific line in as a audio output capture in OBS.
That,
Audio output
That.
capture in OBS.
that.
Audio output capture in OBS. Audio output. OBS has individual audio app capture now. Oh my goodness. OBS.
Oh, that's good.
Fucking leaps and
Look at that.
bounds.
I'll turn
Bring,
that
bring,
off.
bring, 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 bring.
You getting that
Yep.
audio?
Sure are.
Yeah, we are, baby.
I'll get a little bit through that. Atmos in the room. We're good. What the fuck am I doing now?
Audio
Sonic,
jungle.
right?
We're getting
Sonic on my
Amazing stream.
my
You
tablet
guys
that I
ex-
draw on.
Are you guys at exactly the same spot?
we're in. It's I think I just spawned there on the island.
Oh,
These
okay,
are these
right.
fucking these are these fucking little rip-off things. Look at them.
little Kurok ripoffs.
Little Karoki things, bastards.
So,
I've just
give
gone
me
through
the-
the tutorial.
Give me the premise,
So this is the-
because I still don't understand.
Pete, I'll let you do that while I like explore.
I don't know the
new
premise.
world.
I didn't watch the cutscenes at the start. Did you? Did you watch
Yeah,
those?
you and Tails and someone else are on a
Maniac.
plane, and then you go, "Let's go get the Chaos Emeralds," and then a storm whirls up, and you fall in it, and you land here, which is where Dr. Robotnik has put something into it, an artifact, and spawned all these really, really lackluster enemy designs that all spawn into this huge, dead, Death Stranding world. And your goal is to find more
But
emeralds. I
you've
don't know.
been pulled into this digital world as well. Like it's pretty much Digimon. And the first thing you do in the game is you're in a more classic style Sonic run to the end, collect rings along the way kind of thing, in 3 dimensions, and then you get thrown into the open world. And the open world is like basically tutorial for the first like half an hour.
Fucking controller just disconnected. This day's cursed. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, and then you basically have quite a large space to explore, but then you want to unlock these totems or these big chairs that Gus is standing on right now,
These big chairs.
because these big chairs are
The best part of the game.
the Sonic levels. So you just have to waste your time in this open world until you can do the Sonic levels.
Oh, we're getting story?
Hello? Is someone there? Help me!
Hang on.
The weirdest part is that apparently the game has all these like little mini puzzles that are actually really not that interesting. They're just like, I need, like, you get to an area and it's like smash 3 crates. Well done, you get the thing. And you're like, what? That wasn't a puzzle, that was just, oh my god.
Yeah, I imagine they get more complicated.
What the fuck? Why is that a pop-up?
I did a puzzle last night that was a like you walking around. It's just like the camera swung up to a top view, and then I had to walk around these plates and not step on the same tile twice, kind of thing. One of those.
Yep.
Which is again weird in a Sonic game. I'm not sure that they knew exactly what they wanted to fill your time with in the open world. They just knew they wanted you to be doing
Is that this
like,
thing over here?
Like 15 minutes of open world. Yeah, one of these kinds of things. Yep. I mean, this is about the easiest one you can imagine.
Oh my god, was that it? Jesus Christ.
Well, that's the Gus. Come on, that's the tutorial puzzle. You can't hold.
I will say we'll talk about it when
hold
we
it
do
to-
another one of our like pet peeves or whatever that segment
Fuck is
is.
this map?
But one of the things the game does, which drives me absolutely mad, is the beginning of the game is like, go run into the world, and as Sonic, you run forward and a pop-up hits you, and then you're like, okay, I got it. And then you run forward and it's like, ba-dum, and you're like, please stop, I'm trying to go fast.
Go and do-
just continue.
Go and do the chair. Because, like, I legit was like, this game is fucking trash.
I want to.
And then I would do one of those. Oh, you need a heart or something, too.
Is this a boss?
You don't have to fight him. I think you just run away.
This looks like something out of like Horizon meets Death Stranding.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I need a cog to go to the sit in the
okay.
chair. So that can be the goal of this. I need one cog. Why have I got some kind of fucking RPG D-pad wheel at the bottom left? What is that about?
Yeah, so that's like your stats that you build up. But
Is this like Shadow of the Colossus now?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Sick.
That was kind of cool. Give it that.
And you just
Okay.
mash at that.
How does it feel as Sonic running around?
Like, it's
Because in
moments
some
of
ways,
kind of cool, and then moments of just like wonky clankiness when the camera just goes nah, like that. It's like terrible. Does this look terrible to you guys, or is it like running okay?
It's running alright.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the game looks terrible, but the stream is fine.
I like this this open world music in the boss fight. It is the Sonic sound, but it's like a digitized version of it.
Oh, I hate this. Fuck off.
You can do it.
Stop it.
Oh my
You can do it.
Oh my god.
You didn't do it.
Yeah, that's how the game feels, Nick. But yeah, the thing that we're trying to get to is apparently the best
do it.
part of the game. Which are these like, the chairs take you to little quick runs, which feel like classic Sonic in 3D.
Yeah, and you
Oh my
can
God.
replay them. Oh, you got to keep attacking it, mate.
You just need one ring. Why can't I move?
Is your controller disconnected again?
No? I don't think so.
This is
I don't know.
incredible.
I don't know.
Incredible.
No.
Is he Z posing?
Oh god. The mouse is working? The controller isn't. What the
You
fuck?
seem to be out of the splash radius of the big metal tent.
Click on the. Did you click out of the game?
Okay, the device has been
No,
disconnected.
because he's controlling the camera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh no, that's
Oh, unless it's just the thing moving past the camera above him.
controller's lit. Why? Why? There's no one else watching. No one's watching this stream
What the
anymore, right?
fuck is happening?
I hope not.
Okay, okay.
Oh god.
Okay.
Nah, disconnected. Alright, we're going mouse and keyboard, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'll be better
this is
anyway.
gonna suck.
Imagine if this is what unlocks the true joy of the game, is mouse and keyboard.
What
Gus, you
the
did pretty well.
Press shift when climbing. Okay. Wait, you can actually climb like Zelda?
Like wall climb. Oh, you can. There's actually a... Like, he's genuinely climbing.
Yeah, he's
With
doing what
hands.
Knuckles does, but like, oh, that's not fast. Oh, this is really hard.
Well, he can't always go fast.
Oh my god, I hate this. I hate this.
You can do it. You can do it.
This
We're doing this until you get on that fucking chair.
No, yeah, get on the chair. Don't fight that thing.
Yeah,
it's
get
it's
on
a
the
waste
chair.
of time fighting that thing.
controller's dead. I'm gonna talk to Amy, training
Why is your
simulator.
controller dead?
Make
What
your mind up,
happened?
game. I don't know. It's back again. All right, let's leave that thing alone and let's go and Sonic it as we do all this stuff.
Oz
Woohoo.
Catbug, this segment needs to be renamed to maybe some gameplay.
Okay, I think I'm getting it.
Fuck yeah, look at those coins.
That's
the main
just begging to be
recurring-
climbed.
The main
Also,
recurring
Sonic's
narrative
voice is
I've
just like
seen-
generic and
It's Nolan Northy. It's so not him.
This game just can't stop giving me pop-ups and directions and things that
You're
I
in
think
the
I'm in.
you're in the tutorial. We're just
Okay,
out
okay.
of.
Look at this pop-in. Mmm.
Yeah, the pop in is serious, man. Like,
Fuck. That felt worse than
the
it
rail
looked.
grinding is hard. It doesn't make any sense
That
to me.
felt worse than it looked.
Oh,
Go, buddy. Go, buddy.
slap that, slap that.
Sonic!
This would be on PC with max settings, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's almost fun. It's so janky. But if I was by myself, I'd be furious right now.
See, this is why I get.
It's your
This is why I
control-
get angry when Steph is like, "This game's really good because I played it with 3 people who I enjoy hanging out with." It's like everything is good with 3 people that you enjoy hanging out with. That doesn't count.
Did the weather just change?
Yeah, it's nice and sunny now. Lovely.
You do it.
Okay. Yeah, did it, guys.
Alright.
We got these things. Now, rail. Oh my god. Oh my god. The camera changes are just nauseating, I'll be honest. This is just begging to be climbed, said Sonic.
Nah.
Oh my god, it's gonna tell me again. Peter, what am I meant to do here?
I definitely unlocked that run, and I don't know where I got a cog from, so run around those things on the ground holding the what was it? Left trigger?
Run around those things on the ground.
Yeah, like the little knobby things that are sticking out of the ground.
Those things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold through the left trigger on? Oh.
No.
You know the trail thing?
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
So this is the one kind of cool power. It's like make a link and then do damage to everything inside it.
Oh yeah, I like
That's kind of satisfying.
Yeah,
And you
that's
do
it.
go into this sort of slowed down speed run. So it's like moving fast, but
Everything else is still moving a bit. So that obviously was nothing. Whoa! Is that a cog
What
up
do
the
you
top?
reckon? What do you reckon is the best camera angle for Sonic in an open world environment? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, because it's so pulled out, he's so small, the sense of speed isn't necessarily there. I don't know how it feels
My
to play,
headphones
but like
just
to look at.
Oh no, Gus can't hear us anymore.
This is such a fucking disaster of an episode.
Yeah.
We are going to refund 1/4 of the Patreon subscriptions this month.
But just
We don't
randomly?
deserve your money. Yeah, just randomly. We're going to assign it to one person. One person is going to get
Now you're
thousands
feeding.
of dollars just deposited into their account. Now you're feeding.
Now you're feeding.
Now you're feeding.
wait, am I? Oh no. Hang on.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Oh, now you're not sending any audio.
Okay.
You might have fixed it.
I fixed it.
And when you go back into the game, magic.
Yeah. Game sound fixed. Okay. Headphones are back on. Stick with us, folks, if you want to win the God of War Collector's Edition.
I'm gonna just put this.
We're making
up.
it work for it.
Yeah.
are making it
Then
work
you could
for
win
it.
all this stuff, and all you have to put up with is all of this stuff.
It's this bullshit.
Okay.
I went over to the left a bit more. I went up like the middle, yeah.
that thing.
No, not any of that.
Oh no, I know. I really hate.
Go to all the question mark things on the ground.
All the questions. Oh, hang on. I gotta climb some of this bait.
You don't have to.
I need you to do literally just one thing to completion.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Oh, see, this is cool.
On that tower.
Oh, wait.
This was the tower that was in the trailer as well.
In
They
the
knew how cool
trailer,
it was.
yeah. And then this was the moment where everyone was like, hang on a second.
You have to
it's just
slow
like slowly
climb?
walking upwards. Yeah.
There's not a cog up here.
That's what I was. Oh god, don't go
Sunsets
fast.
quickly in this world.
The idea that. Oh.
Say, oh my god, don't go fast.
Well, it's like if I go fast, I'm gonna miss something and fly off this building. So the game is probably saying, just there better be a cog up here.
Hug me.
But stand on this. If I hit that, I bounce off that.
Don't bounce off that. That'll just take you
I
right
go
down.
up there.
I don't think you can.
Challenge accepted, Peter. I don't want to. Okay, let's go there. Ah! This is surely the wrong way
Do
to
you
be
mean
going.
to do
huh?
this?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why
this
am
is
I
good.
here?
This is good.
coins.
Other rail. And you're gonna go through these? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those
Oh,
question
no
mark
way.
things.
Okay.
Can you interact with it?
Touched it.
With the question mark?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Go back up the tower.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't you fucking do it.
Spawn a cog.
I hate you.
Is that
I hate
only
you,
like
Sonic
oh,
Frontiers.
oh my god. You've only
I've
got
got-
60 seconds. Run.
What's the quickest way?
I don't fucking know. The way you went was pretty quick.
The opposite you did of last time.
What is that? Go away.
Just ignore all your instincts.
Stop fighting.
Go up that thing with it.
Working on it. Working on it.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, you go. That's up.
Out here. Ah.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotta
you
go
got this.
fast.
You got this. You got this. You got this.
Didn't want me to go slow like I
You're gonna
said.
get such a cog. Oh,
Ah.
Oh, you're doing so well, dude. Oh, you're a
30
hero.
whole seconds.
Come on. Yeah, we got this.
EZ.
Remember 30 seconds ago, you were on the ground. You were on the ground.
Yeah.
I hit this.
Oh my
Don't
god.
you do it.
Technically, you would have had enough time then to jump off and start the whole thing again and still
I
finish.
did it in 30. This is just to get another love heart. Oh my god. Why is this game...
Oh, do they call them
Yeah.
love hearts in
They
the
do.
game? Is that
They
what
said
they
it was
call
like Amy's hearts or something.
They do?
They don't
Love
call them
hearts?
No.
The symbol. What did I just get? Why is the
So
4
proud of
flashing
you.
in the corner?
Fuck, I'm so proud of you, Gus.
Thank you so much.
That was super quick.
Back down.
Yeah.
It's
But
really the only time you want to hear that.
That's true. Is there something over there? What's that? That looks like a thing. What am I earning? Why is my why am I flashing 6, 7, 8? What is that?
Are
I
they
can't
the love
see
hearts
6,
that you
7,
have?
8.
Oh yeah, in the bottom left. What's going on down there, guys?
Oh, you've got it. You've got a
yeah.
skill point you can unlock.
I don't care for that.
I don't care for that.
What am I doing here?
And you can ground pound or something. Oh, yeah, nice.
With that, I got more. I got purple shit now, guys.
Nice, nice.
Still have no cog. Does anyone know where to get a cog? Is it? Oh my god.
No.
I guess that's one way to get across a map.
Oh yeah,
These
kill
enemies.
Ninja.
Yeah, this guy's easy.
Hold L and B to parry. These enemies, I will just say, just terrible.
Yeah, all the design is so bad in the open world, and then you get into one of the missions, and you're like, oh, sick.
I really, yeah, we
Put some thought
genuinely
into
have
these.
to show what the missions look like.
Lock.
The mission is the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mission is sit on a big chair.
Because, yeah, everything I've seen about this is basically people saying, like, there's some really good base here that they should have released a game in 3 years' time with. Like, it's kind of like all of this feels placeholder for, yeah, I can see how this will work as a game in a few years' time.
Yeah,
But,
and wasn't it the thing where they were like, oh, I got a cog! Yeah!
Yes.
They were like,
Fair
oh,
enough.
that's kind of cool. That's really pretty. They were like, you could delay this game. And they were like, Sega was like, nah. And they were like, no, we saw it. You probably should. And they were like, no, we're sticking to this.
nah,
Nah.
gotta release fast.
Gotta release fast. Is there a way to run faster now? Like, I'm holding right trigger and I'm getting a boost meter that's... Oh, God. Oh, God. What?
Nah,
Oh, God.
Oh no. No, you're at maximum speed. Well, if you hit B, you do a dash, I think, or circle or
Slide.
whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then you can use a bit of that boost, but yeah, the idea is to navigate based on the rails and the bounce pads and stuff around.
Yeah, okay, right.
Oh, do that one. Oh,
That's
you
just
want to
enemies.
just pass? No, that chair.
This thing here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the
Oh,
one
like
I
jump in this
did,
chair.
and it was cool.
Alrighty.
And like, there's a song. I don't know if there's a song for each of them, but there's a song that plays on the track, and it was kind of like Luminez-y, and like I was like, oh,
They're kind of
cool.
like 90s
fuck yeah.
trance bangers. Yeah.
So, and what is it? It's a platforming speed puzzle?
Essentially, yeah, and it's more like first person. The camera floats behind, and it's more like the Dreamcast Sonic games of old.
Yeah, cool.
Which are still really hard to be good at, but they're only kind of like 40 seconds to a minute long. So it's like you do it and go, you get a rank, and then you go like, maybe I'll give another shot.
And then you just try again for
Yeah.
like four or five goes.
Training. Here we go. Prepare to be wowed, internet. But it's like, look at this.
Holy fuck.
It's the
Yeah,
Green
that's
Hill
like,
Zone.
design.
That's right. They showed this in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Color, light, movement. Oh my god, it is so weird that these two things are in the same game.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Sorry. Prepare to be wowed, internet. But yeah, I appreciate the idea of like learning a run. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is like what, games like, it's like just time trial games. Took from Sonic the only good thing about Sonic. Was do a thing fast.
Actually, look at the world below it.
It's
infinite
awesome.
drop-off of,
The
like-
skyboxes are sick.
Yeah, it's sick.
Very cool.
I got very distracted by the fact that Bmac just dropped this in chat and I looked it up. Did you know that Amazon just picked up Neighbors
Oh, really?
What?
and going to make it again?
Amazing.
Insane. Ah. Camera angle change. Fuck.
Whoa, where'd you go?
I don't know, Pete. I haven't quite worked out like if I can jump versus fall through these things. It's like
I
sometimes
think
when I go
you
through
left,
a loop, I then
left stick in.
right. I went the boringest rail there. It looks cool, but sometimes it just love that noise.
Well, it's
sometimes it just like pulls the camera away from you, and it's very disorientating.
but again, it's like it's a 45 second to a minute run, and the camera does the same thing at checkpoints every time. So you kind of like that's your breath. But you go like, oh, all right, cool. I'll stop and
Like
This
I made it
looks
through
stunning.
the
Why
next
doesn't
chunk.
why doesn't the open world look like this?
yeah. I mean, it's too big.
Yeah, so there you go. Like I'll get S rank, A rank, D rank.
Because you know what could be cool with this is you basically go like Mario Galaxy or Mario and Rabbids, where you make like an overworld that looks like this, just with tons of little races hidden in it that you then like join and go on a thing like this within that part of the world. But then you use like Sonic's like jumping, platformy stuff to get around an intricate, dense, open world little level.
There is a stickiness to him when he's running that I haven't quite worked out. Like he doesn't fluidly want to change direction while he's running.
He's going so
It's
fast
still-
in one direction, mate.
Yes, but like
It's like asking a horse to change direction when it's in a full canter.
here we go. This is what I want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? It just ejected me off
Did you
the
jump?
rail. No, I didn't even press a button. It just went, nah, I'm just gonna kick you off this rail. Fuck you. What? Try again.
That's the thing I find really hard is reconnecting
Okay, by
to a
literally
rail.
not touching anything, it's doing more.
So you did jump off the rail before.
Maybe by just holding, I kept the trigger held. Maybe I don't know. Gotta go.
Wait, so have you reset in this level?
Yeah.
I went run
We've
again
done all
just
this,
to
right?
quickly. Yeah, just to quickly see.
Again, the S tier is probably just under a minute or something like
Yeah,
that.
right. Okay.
We go fast. So now, having done it once, you're like S rank. B baby, that's pretty good.
It's
Like-
minute 15 is the S rank.
Yeah, so that is genuinely the best thing to do in the game. But then the rest of it is just I don't know what the appeal of people. People have said, like you said, Pete, they're enjoying oh no, maybe Nick, you said it, like the framework of this game, and that it's like, yeah, running around this big world. But I just
Well,
don't
I've seen
it.
people say like so to compare this to God of War, it is
Sure.
something of a true open world. Of like you kind of just can run around and just do like randomly find things to do and just find a direction and head in it and start accomplishing things, which
Yeah.
I think that I've definitely seen some people who've gone like the appeal is without there being a huge amount of narrative. Even something like Horizon, you go like it's an open world game, but it's an open world in terms of like there's a story path that you follow and side missions, but it's not that sort of like just head off in a direction and get into trouble.
Yeah. Can we see what attempt of a story they're trying to give us right now?
Please.
Because Dr. Robotnik went through a portal at the start when he tried to
I appear to be in a digital dimension.
This is not. Put that cursed thing away.
He gets it faster.
I mean, I guess there's an animated series and stuff. I just do not see the appeal of any of these wonky ass characters.
Kids love Sonic, man.
Yeah, that's true. Do they love
They're
Robotnik?
obsessed with Sonic right now.
It won't stop me from trying.
It's just there's.
Oh, there's a double up on the audio.
Oh, is there?
I was wondering what that was. Yeah. It's coming through twice. You might need to. I think it's on. I think it's coming through your OBS twice.
Shouldn't be. I've only got one set of bars. If I mute it, are you still hearing it? This game that we are dying to see more of?
Yeah.
Getting audio now?
No audio at
Lost
all.
audio.
No audio at all.
No audio or double audio.
Oh, you know what it's fucking... You know what it is. It's
Twitch
just coming through your mic because you got it on... You're coming at your TV, right?
Oh, maybe. Hang on, let me just...
I mean, does it really matter how much more?
Doesn't
of this game
fucking
do we
matter.
have to
We're
say?
done.
We're done.
Done.
Why
We're done with
we are
not
just
only
getting...
this game. We're done with this fucking episode.
Look at me go, guys. I'm just getting it.
You are going fast. I'll give you that.
I guess, yeah, there's a bit of a playground that's going on here that I'm
Yeah, like I could see just going like, I'm just gonna head off, like, you know, it's the appeal of Elden Ring. Like, just head off in this direction and something's there. Breath of the Wild, same thing. Like,
But it's kind of amazing that it has captured something from original Sonic, which is the feeling of freedom suddenly just slammed into a wall and the inertia just comes to a grinding halt and just this, like, your gut lurches forward and you're like, ugh, I did it wrong. It's
Yeah.
just like, that's what this game does to me constantly. I don't know.
I will say, though, like, this open world is just fucking hideous.
Yeah.
And,
It is.
like, and the pop-in is one thing, but, like, there's...
Whoa!
I cannot see any reason, based on any other texture, why there would be any trouble loading anything in a game that is designed for,
looks
like,
like a tech demo?
PlayStation 5 and PC.
Did you see
Like-
because it comes out on Switch as well, and
Oh,
Digital
I'm gonna do
Foundry
it.
got an early version of it because the game broke Street Date or something. And
Look how Death Stranding
their
is.
thing
Sorry,
was
Nick.
basically like, do not buy the
Do
Switch
not
version.
run
Like,
this on.
do not, almost like a warning. Like, it could hurt your Switch.
I almost have to try that just for next week to report back and be like,
Yeah,
does it hold
does
up?
it hold-
Does it switch? It does not. What the hell?
Speaking of open world games that are coming
Yeah.
out, I totally forgot. Pokemon's out tomorrow.
I'm so fucking keen.
Pokemon's fucking out tomorrow, Pete.
I love Pokemon.
I don't even think you have COVID. I think you were just
much.
faking it so you don't have to come in tomorrow so you can play Pokemon.
I think I need to go in tomorrow.
You really do.
Guys, I'm doing it. That was the challenge.
Is this Just Dance?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're done. That was
Cool
That's
though.
a
That was sick, man.
Yeah,
You did
we're
a good
done.
job.
we're done. Goodbye. Goodbye, Sonic.
Right, good. We nailed it. That was great. That's Sonic, ladies and gentlemen. Tick that off the list.
Or
for
is this Sonic, ladies and gentlemen?
So how long did this take? And talk to me about the ears.
And how sick were you?
he's
when that
got
happened?
pink in his ears. I just looked up a picture of Sonic.
Yeah, there's not pink in
Took
that
me
picture.
the better part of 6 minutes. What do you mean? Like, it's a fleshy tone in his ears.
Yeah, no, that's dick flesh.
Can you now,
Dick.
knowing that you've done the voice once before, Pete, can you do Sonic's catchphrase in a pockety voice?
What's Sonic's cash? Oh, gotta go fast.
Yeah.
1 second. 1 second. Just gotta go like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is more build up than.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Gotta go fast!
Oh, it was everything I wanted it to be.
Excellent, excellent. Now do it like Chris Pratt. Fantastic. We've reached the end of this episode. Let me just check the rundown to make sure that we haven't missed anything. Oh, wait, do we have
We
a
got an ad
second?
break.
There's another ad
We've got a
break.
second
Good
ad
ad
break.
break.
Fucking hell, this thing never ends. We'll be
But
back
then-
after this.
Ragnarok Collector's Edition.
So stick
yeah,
around, you could win it.
Kill me.
You could win a Ragnarok.
I'm not a part of anything, really. You feel me? I'm not a cog in anyone's... I'm not a cog in anyone's machine. I'm my own machine.
What are you, fucking Christoph Waltz? Murder and making out?
Or is that what they want us to think?
Is this a double bluff?
I have something for you.
Spirit!
Hello? He's gonna wait off the island, maybe?
Sorry, I'm very turned on. We're high as fuck right now.
She downs her screwdriver. It's now time to eliminate one of the killers.
Shit.
My cousin got sick and the hospital bills are through the roof. It really got me thinking, if I ever got sick, what are we doing to protect our future and the future of our family?
That's an understandable fear. And I think we should do one simple thing, and that's contact the Learn Programming Academy.
Okay, I was thinking we would get life insurance.
Get your exclamation mark Tims out in the chat, because over 1 million people trust Tim from the Learn Programming Academy to deliver high quality, quick and affordable tutorials on how to code. And they're all videos, so you don't even need to know how to read. I know I can't.
But I'm worried about dying.
We all are. So why not live forever by coding a robot to transplant your old, disgusting organs for fresh new ones while you sleep? I'm sure it's possible.
I don't think it is.
Well, that's because you're stupid and you haven't contacted the Learn Programming Academy.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
The Learn Programming Academy. You'll give it a C++.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Must be time for another.
Dum, 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 dum. There is a joy when you open a new book and see a map from the first page. You know that the author has taken the time to think through their world and bring it to life. You can use maps to explore the world, to show that Ethan Hunt has visited Australia more times than James Bond. You know that feeling when you see a map and know it's something more than just a cloth pre-order or a fast travel location. Maps capture our thirst for adventure, can be sources of frustration, take us back to our childhoods, or hunt down every possible collectible. Maps shape our worldview and inspire us to learn. And that is why I recommend to you maps. I'm not joking, I could talk about them for hours.
Hi, Ron.
Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, Gus. You killed me. You killed me, boy. Thank you very much to the words from our sponsors from two segments. We had Spazrus, Skirovik, ItsJepp, and Bmac. And then we also saw commercials there for Tim and MaxJazzGames as well. So thank you to all of you, except for Tim, who we haven't heard of since he sold his company. Like, isn't it weird that he sponsored us for ages and then just like not only stopped the sponsor because he's like, I don't have the business anymore, so I don't need it anymore, but has fallen off the fucking face of the planet in terms of being a viewer of our show as well?
I know.
That's true.
Feels like a betrayal.
He used us and spat us out, and it felt good.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I mean, I'd do it again.
Take the men's money.
That brings us nearly to the end of our show. There's only two more things that need to happen. The first of which is we're giving away a collector's edition of God of War Ragnarok thanks to PlayStation Australia.
Let's have a look at it.
Look at this beauty.
That steelbook is actually beautiful. But can I, if there's no game disc...
The steelbook, out of everything there, the steelbook is the thing that you're going for.
Oh, I really like the print on it. I really like the wolf and the... Is it a little baby wolf? A little cub?
Yep.
But if a steelbook doesn't come with a game disc, and you get a code.
Yep.
What do you put in steel books that aren't the game disc? Do you
Is
put
this a philosophical question?
Well, kind of, because they never print the disc. So it's like, do you go and buy a store copy and put your disc in there? Do you put just a music CD
what they're
you find at your
encouraging.
parents'
Burn
house?
it to a Blu-ray?
Do you put Enya, Sounds of Trees in it or something? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess, that's interesting because it is like you put it on your shelf, but like, to what end?
If you'd like to answer this philosophical question, just get in the
type exclamation mark to what end in
I think that's a good one. Exclamation mark to what end? That's going to be the Nightbot roll. So if the mods could set that up, to what end? Exclamation mark to what end is going to be the Nightbot roll.
Perfect.
To be able to win a copy of God of War Ragnarok Collector's Edition, thanks to PlayStation Australia. Oh my goodness. That I assume is getting all set up now. I never know how these things work, and I don't know whether or not we need to be in emote mode.
People are spamming already, but we'll see what happens.
Does it count now? Nobody knows. I never remember with this shit. But yeah, thank you very much. So when you get this collector's edition,
I'm just seeing Tau Hat End.
I will let you know when you get the collector's edition. It will be minus the hammer, which I'll be keeping, and Gus will be keeping that empty steel case as well.
But I'll just stare at it every night and go like,
to what end?
What end?
To what end? No game disc included. Amazing.
All right, I assume it was live in a proper fashion. So
yeah, I saw emote only.
Yeah, emote only.
So,
yeah.
When he collects his edition, the winner is gonna be. Let's go there. Cut it there. The axe comes flying back. Thump.
Winner is.
Yeah, why the hammer, not the axe?
Yeah, good point.
It's a good question.
Gabby 94.
Gabby 94.
Congratulations, Gabby. Fuck, I hope you live in Australia. Gabby _94.
Oh, yeah.
Can you please send a DM to the Back Pocket Twitch account right now? Or Ben, send a DM to Gabby. Someone communicate with someone. We're going to need your name, your address, and your phone number, which seems invasive, but PlayStation requested it for the tracking. How exciting. Congratulations, Gabby. Gabby says,
Well done,
what?
Gabby, are you in Australia? Confirm.
Do you live in Australia? Do you live in Sydney, just near like inner city, so we don't have to send the shipping on the heaviest?
We just walk it to you.
Well, it's not us. It's Sony. It's Sony's shipping money.
Yeah.
Oh, then live in Norway or wherever you want to live.
No, I think you need to be in Oz, right?
Live in Norway wherever you want to live.
Yeah, then you find
lives in
Gabby.
Australia.
All yours.
Fuck yeah,
All
Gabs.
yours.
Congrats, Gabby.
Yes.
Well done. Congratulations.
And
Gabby.
answer us
Thank
that
you very much,
question.
PlayStation.
To what end now, Gabby? You need to
what
answer
end,
that
Gabby?
question.
Yeah.
To what end?
This is just for bonus prize,
Yeah.
which is
Yes, Pete.
a disc.
The disc will be blamed.
The happiness in your face when you came up with that. It was wonderful.
She needs a disc.
What was the modern
Gabby could be anyone.
warfare to disc size? Physical copies of Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 were delivered worldwide, and they had
Like
72
16 meg or
megabytes of data on the disc. Incredible.
It had the download EXE on it, and that was
To
all.
what end?
And a bunch of curses and wallpapers on it or something.
I love it. I love it. Okay,
Awesome.
cool. We did it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the credits, and I think that in his fevered state, Pete should read them.
I don't know.
Do they work?
Hang on, let me check one thing.
That is adequately broken for tonight's episode.
It
That is so good.
It should work. But it doesn't.
Back in Tactus says, bye guys. I'm like, wait, we're not done yet. We're not done.
Fuck. Let me try one other thing.
My God.
Let me try one other thing.
Oh, we just disappeared.
We don't need it. We don't need it. People
Come for the game, stay for the technical difficulties. We know what we
I'm
signed
gonna
up
try
for.
one more thing. Just gonna try one more thing.
Oh man.
Okay. No, this is okay. I see why that's doing that.
What a night to pick a 2009-year-old bottle of wine.
Yeah, what a waste.
What a waste.
Nah, fuck
Is it
it.
good?
What end? Yeah, it's actually really lovely. It is. I don't know what like kind of grape it is. Oh, it's a. It's pretty much a Merlot. Okay. 70% Merlot grape.
This'll do.
Is the grape what defines the wine?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
So like this kind of grape. I'll take it.
No.
Special thanks to all our patrons. The mods, Gat, Syntax Eric, Hit Carnage, Liz Dahlia, Sith Cat, Phoenix O'Lion, Disturb 778, Jax, Caboose, What the Shark, Pockety Wrangler is Little Miss Starlet, Gus Beard Wrangler is Dump Days, Department of Donuts is Honey Bun Bun, What Lubricator are We Are Robots, and Limbot. We definitely need to update this. Foot Severer is Moth Captain, Foot Liquor is ItsJepp, Costume Department, Oranishi, Remover of Foot from Gus's Mouth is Babylon Boffin. Back Pocket Legal Team is Akarash. Nick's own legal team for his dumb mouth is BuriBuri. Head Technician is Kane Lavos. Scardy Grimmer is Glowing Might. Gaming Department, MPod 18. Naming Department, Oz Naminator. Best Boy, Eva A. Worst Boy, Evil Spy Boy. Box Boy is Boxy. Scardy Feeders are BT Nano and Super Studios. Scardy Breeders are Slowponk and Zeke. Scardy Wrangler is Bifrost, and the Worm Wangler is Toxichold. Pete's Cable Guy is Wolsey.
Is this a fake out?
Well designed by Timothy. Gaffer, holder of gaff tape is Bmac. Staff attention grabber is Snail XD. Assistant to staff attention grabber when she loses attention is Daisy86. Community hot boy is Nicotex, and his hot boy is the Coastal City and Avexia. Assistant remover of sugar from Coke is Kaylee Kool-Aid. Executive show canceller is Raj. Remover of sass is Sassel. Replacer of sass is Skirovik. House band is Music for Hire in Middlecee. Transport officer is the Vegabus. Dinosaur supervisor is Phil Tippett. Bird supervisor is Loki Cat. And back pocket business partners Dream PC and Pixel Beans Coffee.
That's a real banger of a tune that we don't really hear that well.
It's
Fucking
fucking
did it, ladies and gentlemen.
sick as.
You certainly are, Peter.
Good work, everybody. At one point, my whole stream just stopped and everything died.
Oh, really?
But Pete
Same.
stopped first, so I was like, he quit halfway through the credits. Good.
Oh.
Okay. Unfortunately, we also have a post show to do, sponsored by Loki Cat.
However,
So, yep,
it's about me.
He
My new
muted
pop-up
himself.
tent.
you're muted. You muted yourself.
Wait,
You're fine now. You're fine now. You're fine now. You're fine now.
I didn't mute, did I?
You did mute for us. However,
We got two.
It's about me, my pop-up tent that I promised I'd speak about the other night, and how it almost killed me, or how I almost died in it.
Yeah, that's more accurate. Because I would argue that the tent could have saved your life in that scenario.
Potentially. But I'll tell everyone in the post show what happened.
Yeah, sounds good.
Shit
All
got
right,
real.
the post show is sponsored by Loki Cat, so we'll see you all there. Thanks very much, everyone, for hanging out during this shit show. And we'll be back with normal back pocket next week. The plan for next week's episode: Steph's back, and we're gonna have espresso martinis. That's all the content we've planned. So
And Josh is involved now because you've named and shamed him, so he has to get involved.
we've named and shamed Josh, so he'll probably still be in the studio trying to get episode 2 happening of this thing.
Yep.
Peter,
Cool. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching.
Thanks for getting tonight running. I genuinely mean it. I know you're unwell, and this was a shit show, but
Did it
nothing
run?
to do with you.
Did it run?
And well, it came together. I
points.
blame your router more than I blame your fever. So
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
GG's.
Good luck, everybody. We're gonna back it out. We'll see you in the post show, and if not, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Later.